Hello students, welcome to Dnyanadeep Academy. Today we are going to look at Kurukshetra magazine. So this is what January edition. The topic for the January is startups redefining rural India. So Kurukshetra magazine, unlike Yojana, it is more focused on rural India. So in this edition, they have come up with the theme startups redefining India. So let us see what are the articles mentioned in this Kurukshetra magazine. So first article talks about inclusive development. So this is also our topic. If you see the syllabus of UPSC mains GS syllabus, so you will see this topic, inclusive development. Then food processing sector is there. Then water security. So already UPSC has asked questions on water security. Next, startups as the engines of growth for what? Northeast India. So Northeast India, that's important, that area is important. So what are the chapter? So first is what? Redefining rural landscape, startups paving the way for inclusive development. So how startups are going to help government to achieve the inclusive development. So this article talks about that. Second article is what? Reform, perform and transform. So this can be a tagline. Reform the system, then perform and transform. What? Agri startups. Okay, reform, perform and transform through agri startups. Next, redefining the food processing sector through startups. So food processing sector is very important to develop the agriculture and for the welfare of farmer. Agri food processing sector. Okay. Next, startups towards the rural water security. So again, water security is important. Next, startups as the engines of growth for the Northeast India. And then we have drone revolution, changing the face of rural India and supporting women-led startups. So women empowerment role you can find in this article, supporting women-led startups. So let us read the editorial first, what the editor is saying. So here they have given in this article, in this magazine entirely, if you see, you will see the definition of startup first. Secondly, you can find the benefits of startups. Then you will find the types of startups. Next, what are the challenges and how we can use startups to solve the problems in the rural India. What are the challenges? So you will also get to know what are the challenges in Northeast India, in agricultural sector. What are the challenges faced by women-led startups and how government is solving those problems with the help of many schemes. There are many schemes. So, and most of all, you will find some names of the startups, because in exam, in essay, in GS answers, if you write the names of startups which are actually engaged, so that will enhance, that will definitely going to enhance your marks. So just note down the names of the startups, right? So let us read this editorial first. What it states: the startups are an exemplar that great things are done by a series of small things brought together. So in Marathi आपल्याकडे म्हण आहे थेंबे थेंबे तळे साचे. तसंच these startups, even though they are very small in magnitude, their impact can be big. How? So they are saying that the pulse of innovation in a country teeming with the entrepreneurial fervor beats much beyond its urban boundaries, and the new wave of entrepreneurs and startups has taken up upon themselves to lead the way for transforming the rural India. And why we need the transformation of rural India? Because even now, even today, 65% of Indians are living in rural India. So if you want to see India as a developed nation, as a superpower, first develop your rural India, because 65% of Indians are living in rural India, they are saying. Then the article Reform, Perform and Transform through Agri Startups explains how in the realm of Indian agriculture, startups emerge as beacons of hope for farmers facing challenges. What are the challenges in agriculture? There are many challenges. First, foremost challenge is climate change, the uncertain rainfall, because even today Indian agriculture is dependent on monsoon. So monsoon is uncertain. The extreme events, they are occurring frequently. Their intensity is increasing. So how startups can help them. Second challenge is finding market. So how through agri processing sector, how we can save the produce of farmers. Next, what are the challenges? Soil degradation is the challenges. Then spraying of pesticides, insecticides, herbicide is a problem, right? Because that is what जेव्हा तुम्ही अप्लाय करायला जाता, सो फार्मर इज ॲट रिस्क. ठीक आहे, त्याच्या श्वासातनं ते जाऊ शकतं बॉडीमध्ये, दॅट इज हार्मफुल फॉर इट, राईट? सो हाऊ ड्रोन्स कॅन बी यूज टू अप्लाय टू स्प्रेड द insecticides, to chemical fertilizers, anything, right? So those are the challenges. There are many challenges we are going to see in this article, right? Next article is what? The food processing sector. The food processing sector is extremely vital for an agrarian country like India. The article redefining the food processing sector through startups, because food processing sector is the link between agriculture and manufacturing. Sector. So food processing sector must have a strong forward linkage and backward linkage, right? And how startups are actually helping the farmers. So we'll see. Next, the author emphasizes that for startups in the food processing sector to flourish, backward linkages with agriculture, fisheries. So agriculture is not just about farms. फक्त शेती म्हणजे agriculture आहे का? No, there are allied activities. Agriculture is there, fisheries are there, dairying is there, animal husbandry. So everything is covered in agriculture and allied activities. So startups are not only engaged in agriculture, but they are also working, they are also innovating, they are also transforming these allied activities called fisheries, dairy. Next is animal husbandry in the form of apiculture or sericulture, right? Everything is there, so that need to be strong. Next article is what? Startups towards rural water security and championing the social startups for rural development. So these articles examine that there has been a surge in the number of commercial and social enterprises addressing rural India's concerns. So water security. So today you must be knowing that India is the largest user of groundwater. So there are many problems associated with it. The groundwater table is reducing. First challenge. Second, the water security of the rural India. The most of the rural India, they drink water directly from the bore wells, and the bore well, the water from the bore well is having heavy metals in it, because the water level is what? So much deep. That is a problem that affects their health, right? So how startups are helping to reduce that problem. So we'll see that. And next, about drones. So drones are making headlines for various reasons, including the potential to revolutionize Indian agriculture and rural economies. The author of the article, Drone Revolution, Changing the Face of Rural India. So it basically states ki how, in which ways we can use drones for crop surveillance, right? To spread the pesticides and insecticides we can use. Then we can also enroll women, youth, for what? Drone uses. So that article talks about it, and at last it becomes evident as we read through these insightful articles from subject experts that entrepreneurs are not only the agents of change. What? Good line. Entrepreneurs are not only the agent of change, but also the designers of a more promising and inclusive future for rural India. So this is a very good line. I always tell students कि Yojana and Kurukshetra magazine are your books for writing essay. So this magazine will not only give you information, will not only give you data, but will also tell you how to introduce your essay, how to write your points, how to maintain the flow of your essay, how to conclude your essay, how to write schemes, government schemes, how to write the names of the startups, the topic of which you are writing the essay. So you should write examples, the real-time examples, national examples, international examples, local examples. You should also mention some quotes, right? So we'll see. So the first article is what? Redefining the rural landscape, startups paving the way for inclusive development. So inclusive development is a keyword over here. So this is the startup, what they are using. They are using social media, they are using technology, they are using innovation, they have some ideas, they need finance. So this is what startup ecosystem all about. So let us read. Riding on the digitization wave, India. So digitization wave, India has seen growth in startups catering to rural needs with a customer base of 100 crore. So 100 crore population is living, almost 100 crore, or you can write in figure 65% of India's population is living in rural area. So huge market they have. Startups, they have huge market. See, in foreign companies, big companies, they are coming to India. Why? Because India is a huge market with population now around 140 crores, huge market. Similarly, startups, they also have huge market in rural Indias. More than 100 crore population is there. So rural India presents a massive opportunity for startups, especially in sectors like agri-tech, food processing, edtech, skill development, e-commerce, health tech, renewable energy, handicrafts, and traditional arts and fintech. So there are numerous opportunities in rural India. They have market and they have these sectors also, which can be taken up by the startups to flourish their business, right? So these are the important sectors. So at the last of this article, we are going to see which startups are engaged in fintech, in traditional arts. They have given some names, so you should at least write 1 or 2 names from each sector, so that it will be helpful for you to write in your essays. So first, I also highlighted the important lines, so we'll just read those lines. If you find this important, you can just mention in your note. So startup ecosystem of India has witnessed a remarkable growth in the recent year. India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world with more than 1 lakh registered startups. So this is very important data they have given. India is what? Third largest startup ecosystem. Third largest. After USA and China, India is third. So this question can be asked in prelims also. So we'll also cover some schemes which will be helpful for you also in prelims. In mains they are of course useful, but in prelims also the chances are there they can ask you these schemes. So India is the third largest ecosystem. Next, 1 lakh startups have been registered under what? DPIIT. So what is DPIIT? Department for Promotion of Industries and Internal Trade. So this is a body under what? Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So this you should know, DPIIT. What they are saying, key where startups are leveraging the technology to bridge. So India, till now, India has rural urban divide. Rural India, so they say India versus Bharat. So this divide has been what? Has been bridged by these startups by using the technology. Technology is used to bridge the rural urban divide. These ventures not only address the local challenges but also create employment opportunities, because in rural India as such the employment opportunity is less. Almost 55% of India's population is even now dependent on agriculture. So disguised unemployment is there in agriculture, you know. So employment opportunities are as such less in rural India. So people migrate to cities. And there are problems in cities. Pollution is there, congestion is there, right? The cost of living is very high. So to address that problem, startups can also give employment to the local people. So employment opportunities there. So first is what? They will solve your problem. Local challenges are there. Secondly, they will also help to create employment opportunity, and what? Fostering sustainable development. So again, this is a keyword: inclusive development, sustainable development. So you should use these words, these keywords more often in your answers. So yes, employment is there and challenges are there. Next, what is the government doing? So government is pushing the startup ecosystem by various schemes. In 2014, Make in India was there. Government launched a new scheme. Then Startup India came. Okay, so Startup India is there. Atal Innovation Mission, AIM, MeitY Startup Hub, then BIRAC and DST supported scheme. So what is MeitY? Is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is there. BIRAC is related to biotechnology industry research. Okay, so Department of Science and Technology supported scheme. So various schemes are there. We will read one by one. So first is what? Atal Community Innovation Center, under what? Atal Innovation Mission. So Atal Innovation Mission is an umbrella scheme Under it, there are various sub schemes for various sectors. So here we have Atal Communication Innovation Centers, that is what ACIC. So what it does, ACIC initiative was launched in the year 2020 with the objective of creating a community innovation centers for rural entrepreneurs. The initiative encourages grassroots innovation. The initiative ACIC that what encourages the grassroots innovation, and it focuses on the community of entrepreneurs, right? So instead of just focusing on individual, this incubator, you can say, this incubator supports the community of entrepreneurs. The initiative encourages grassroots innovation and directly supports community-based entrepreneurs by establishing the enabling infrastructure in academic institutions and NGOs. So this is the first scheme. Next, what we have, Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program. So don't read this entire information about the scheme. Just mention schemes by government and write ACIC, then write Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program. So in your essay, in your research answer, just mention. They will not ask you what is Startup Village Entrepreneur Program. Write a short note on this scheme. They won't ask you. So तुम्हाला फक्त रेफरन्स द्यायचा आहे. अशा स्कीम्स आहेत, असे चॅलेंजेस आहेत, असं गव्हर्नमेंट प्रमोट करत आहे, एवढ्या स्टार्टअप्स आहेत, कोणकोणते नावं आहेत ते तुम्हाला लिहायचं आहे. सो इथे फक्त जस्ट ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड इट अँड जस्ट मेन्शन व्हेरी ब्रीफली इन युअर नोट्स. What is this scheme? Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program. So this is a sub scheme under what? DAY, Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. So this is a program. Under it, this scheme has been launched. So the objective is what? Helping the rural poor to set up enterprises at the village level in non-agricultural sectors. Even this is confusion. Rural India is agriculture, agriculture is rural India. So this equation is not true. There are various non-agricultural activities going in the rural areas also. So for them, the scheme is there. Next, Skill India Mission. Skill India Mission. So we know in India there is dearth of skill. People are not skilled. Most of the employment is what? Unskilled. Most of the employment is unskilled employment. So to give skill to our youth, Skill India Mission has been launched under what? MSDE, Ministry of Skill and डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. ठीक आहे, SDE. सो प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना, प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास. सो दैट दिस मिशन हैज set up various centers, skill centers at district levels, and that center will give skill. So that skill can be anything. So will give skill to the youth. कौशल म्हणजे काय? Skill. National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme. So apprenticeship in what? Industry. Because it is a problem in our industry that there is a gap in industry academia. जे शिकवतोय ते काहीतरी वेगळं असतं आणि इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये गेल्यानंतर काहीतरी वेगळंच असतं. ठीक आहे. सो टू ब्रिज दिस गॅप, apprenticeship has been promoted by India. This scheme, Skill India Mission. ठीक आहे. सो Skill India Mission आहे. Next is Aspire. In Aspire, what we are doing? So Aspire scheme is by Ministry of MSME. So you can see various ministries are engaged. First, MeitY, Ministry of Electronics. Then there is Ministry of Commerce and Industry, DPIIT is there. Next there is Ministry of Skill Development. Next there is Ministry of MSME. So various ministries are working, right, for what? Inclusive development of rural India. So this scheme is by Ministry of MSME. Aspire scheme is there. Aspire what aims to provide training and incubation support to prospective entrepreneurs in agro-rural sector through livelihood business incubators. Livelihood business incubator. Incubator काय असतं? बेसिकली इन्क्युबेटरचा लिटरली अर्थ, इट इज अ मेडिकल टर्म, की आपण बघा लहान मुलांना जे जन्म झाल्या काही प्रॉब्लेम असेल तर आपण पेटीमध्ये ठेवतो. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज इन्क्युबेटर. बट इन बिझनेसमध्ये काय आहे? इन्क्युबेटर लाईक दॅट बेबी. Startup is also a baby. So that startup will need some mentorship, will need some technical assistance, will need finances, will need connection. So या सर्व ज्या गोष्टी आहेत तो त्या आपण काय करतो? इन्क्युबेटर थ्रू देतो. इन्क्युबेटर एक टर्म आहे, एक इन्स्टिट्यूशन असेल दॅट विल हेल्प द स्टार्टअप. ठीक आहे. कारण स्टार्टअप इट्स लाईक अ बेबी, जस्ट त्याचा जन्म झालेला आहे. ठीक आहे. त्यांना काही गोष्टी माहीत नसतील, काही गोष्टींची मदत लागणार आहे, गव्हर्नमेंटच्या स्कीम कुठल्या आहेत, मार्केट काय आहे, सगळा अभ्यास जो आहे सो इन्क्युबेटर आहे. सो लाईव्हलीहूड बिझनेस इन्क्युबेटर्स. सो इन्क्युबेटर्स शब्द हा बऱ्यापैकी येईल तुम्हाला. ठीक आहे. या मॅगझिनमध्ये. सो ॲस्पायर स्कीम आहे. नेक्स्ट व्हॉट वी हॅव, सो स्टार्टअप्स इन रूरल इंडिया. सो दीज आर द स्कीम्स. ॲस्पायर आहे, स्किल इंडिया मिशन आहे, त्यानंतर ACIC आहे. सो फक्त जस्ट राईट डाऊन द नेम्स ऑफ द स्कीम्स, गव्हर्नमेंट स्कीम्स टू पुश स्टार्टअप्स. नेक्स्ट स्टार्टअप्स इन रूरल इंडिया. सो काय आहेत, दे आर जस्ट डिस्क्राइबिंग द स्टार्टअप. सो लाईफ अवे फ्रॉम द मेट्रोज. सो मोर दॅन 100 crore Indians and around 65% of India live in rural areas. A total of 63% of the workers in the rural area are what, self-employed. So huge potential. ठीक आहे. सो हे तुम्ही लिहून ठेवा. दिस फॅक्ट्स आर ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टंट. द अँड ट्राय टू रिमेंबर द इझी फॅक्ट्स. एकदम कॉम्प्लिकेटेड डेटा जो आपल्या लक्षात राहू शकत नाही आहे ते पाठ करणं इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी, राईट. सो अशा सोप्या गोष्टी ज्या आहेत ते तुम्ही लिहू शकता, विच कॅन हेल्प यू टू अनालाइज युअर आन्सर. ठीक आहे. नेक्स्ट, वेल ब्रँडिंग अँड मार्केटिंग मे नॉट वर्क फॉर स्टार्टअप्स इन अर्बन एरियाज. ट्रस्ट अँड वर्ड ऑफ माउथ पब्लिसिटी हॅव. सो इथे काय आहे, ब्रँडिंग आहे. एखाद्या ॲक्टरला तुम्ही बोलवता, सो ते फेमस होतं. ठीक आहे. तसं ग्रामीण भागामध्ये होतं काय आहे, ऑलरेडी पैसा कमी आहे, लोक सोशल मीडिया एवढा वापरत नाही आहे, वापर वाढत चाललेला आहे. बट द युजेस ऑफ सोशल मीडिया इज लेस, रिकग्निशन ऑफ ॲक्टर्स इज लेस. सो व्हॉट दे आर सेइंग, दे आर डिपेंडंट मोर ऑन ट्रस्ट अँड व्हॉट, वर्ड ऑफ माउथ पब्लिसिटी. तोंडी की अरे हे चांगलं होतं, मी वापरलं आहे, ॲप चांगलं आहे, चांगली माहिती मिळते, चांगलं सांगतात, पटकन सर्व्हिस मिळते, अशा ज्या गोष्टी आहेत तू पण वापर. ठीक आहे. सो तिथे कामाला येतं ग्रामीण भागामध्ये. देन रोल ऑफ डिजिटायझेशन. सो रोल ऑफ डिजिटायझेशनमध्ये यू कॅन मेन्शन की इंडिया इज हॅव्हिंग वन ऑफ वर्ल्ड चीपेस्ट इंटरनेट रेट्स. ठीक आहे. इंडिया हॅज वन ऑफ द चीपेस्ट डेटा रेट्स इन दी वर्ल्ड. ठीक आहे. हे लक्षात नका ठेवू, चीपेस्ट डेटा रेट आहे, बरोबर आहे. सो almost all the people can afford now because cheapest data rate आहे. Over 50% of Indians are internet users. 50% of Indians. ठीक आहे. आउट ऑफ विच, सो 50% म्हणजे आपली लोकसंख्याच एवढी आहे की आपले जे इंटरनेट युजर आहे ते ऑलमोस्ट चायना सोडून सगळ्या देशापेक्षा जास्त असणार आहेत. ठीक आहे. सो ओव्हर 50% ऑफ इंडियन्स आर इंटरनेट युजर and out of which around 40 crore of people reside in the rural areas, and by 2025 India will have 90 crore active internet users and 56% of the new internet users will be from rural India. So just mention by 2025 we are going to have 90 crore active internet users. So this is a huge achievement and huge potential, huge market for the startups and for the foreign companies, right? So हे तुम्ही लिहून ठेवा. 25 पर्यंत 90 करोड आपले इंटरनेट युजर्स असणार आहेत. सो द स्टार्टअप्स बेस्ड ऑन दी दिस डिजिटायझेशन दे विल हेल्प इमेन्स. नेक्स्ट, द डिजिटायझेशन ऑफ रूरल एरियाज हॅज बीन बॉल्स्टर्ड विथ गव्हर्नमेंटल स्कीम्स. सो एवढं का झालेलं आहे, पेनिट्रेशन एवढं कसं झालेलं आहे. सो गव्हर्नमेंटच्या खूप साऱ्या स्कीम्स आहेत. मग ते भारतनेट असेल, यू शुड नो अबाउट भारतनेट. नेक्स्ट, देर इज वॉट कॉमन सर्व्हिस सेंटर्स आर देअर. डिजिटल इंडिया कॅम्पेन इज देअर. देन प्रधानमंत्री ग्रामीण डिजिटल साक्षरता अभियान, PMG दिशा. सो हे मेन्शन करा की गव्हर्नमेंटचे काय काय एफर्ट्स आहेत. गव्हर्नमेंटने भारतनेट आणलेलं आहे, PMG दिशा आणलेलं आहे, त्यानंतर डिजिटल इंडिया कॅम्पेन चालवलं होतं, आणि आपल्याकडे काय आहे, व्हायब्रंट प्रायव्हेट प्लेयर्स पण आहेत. सो या सर्व गोष्टीमुळे काय झालेलं आहे, रूरल आणि अर्बन इंडिया हे जे डिवाइड होतं ते ब्रिज करण्यासाठी मदत झालेली आहे. आणि या ब्रिजचा वापर कोण करणार आहेत, स्टार्टअप्स. ते काय करणार आहेत, जे रूरल इंडियामध्ये चॅलेंजेस आहेत ते सॉल्व्ह करणार आहेत. चॅलेंजेस सॉल्व्ह तर करणारच आहेत, बट दे आर ऑल्सो गोइंग टू क्रिएट एम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी दॅट विल प्रिव्हेंट मायग्रेशन फ्रॉम rural India to urban India. So that will help to solve the problems in the urban India also. So try to make this link. अशी लिंक फॉर्म करण्याचा प्रयत्न करा. नेक्स्ट, riding on the digitization wave, India has seen growth in startups catering to rural India with a customer base of 100 crore. Rural India presents a massive opportunities for startups. ठीक आहे. Then types of rural startups. So again types, असा प्रश्न येणार आहे का, what are the types of rural startups? No. Just have a brief idea कि there are some startups, so that if an essay or if an answer comes on the startup, so you will have some idea कि okay अशा प्रकारचं startup पण असतं. So I can write the challenges of those startups. So first type is what? First is what? Founders based in urban areas with solutions catering to rural areas. So याच्यामध्ये काय होतं, they will take the help of online platforms connecting farmers with markets. सो दिस इज इम्पॉर्टंट ना. फार्मर्स आर लॅकिंग मार्केट. जेव्हा खूप पीक येतं तेव्हा काय होतं, मार्केट नसतं, मार्केटचा भाव नसतो. ठीक आहे. सो त्यावेळेस ते हेल्प करणार आहेत. टेलिमेडिसिन आहे, टेलिमेडिसिन सर्व्हिसेस. ऑलमोस्ट 2/3 ऑफ इंडियाज health infrastructure is concentrated in urban areas, but we have just seen 65% of India's population is living in rural India. So काय आहे, खूप सारी स्कार्सिटी आहे हेल्थ प्रॅक्टिशनरची रुरल इंडियामध्ये. सो आपण काय करू शकतो, टेलिमेडिसिन. नेट तर आपल्याकडे आहे, डेटा पण स्वस्त आहे, राईट. So telemedicine services and digital learning solutions for rural students. The key trait of these startups is that they tend to disrupt an organized industry and bring efficiency to the traditional processes. So health industry असेल, education असेल, त्यानंतर तुमचं market access असेल, so they will try to help the farmer by using the online platforms. They will use the social media, or they will just create some apps, some apps or some websites they will create. So next is what, founders belonging to rural areas with solutions catering to rural areas. So these are what, local entrepreneurs. So they know the rural India far better. They know the challenges faced by the common people living in the rural area. So याच्यामध्ये काय होणार आहे, the ventures focused on agricultural innovations, rural craft preservation. So handicraft industry खूप आहे गावामध्ये, राईट. सो त्याला प्रमोट करतील. अँड कम्युनिटी सेंट्रिक इनिशिएटिव्स दॅट एन्हान्सेस द ओव्हरऑल क्वालिटी ऑफ लाईफ इन रुरल एरियाज. द की ट्रेट ऑफ दिस स्टार्टअप इज दॅट द एम ॲट इम्प्रूव्हिंग अर्निंग ऑफ रुरल हाऊसहोल्ड्स. अर्निंग वाढवायचं आहे. कारण ॲग्रिकल्चरमध्ये होतं कसं, आपलं मॉन्सून सीझनमध्ये क्रॉप घेतो. सो काय रबी सीझन आहे, खरीप सीझन आहे, जैद सीझन आहे. सो डेली मंथली इन्कम आहे का, कमी आहे. ठीक आहे, नाही आहे. त्यामुळे काय होणार आहे, मार्केट होत नाही. पैसा असेल तर मग कंपनी येतील ना. ठीक आहे, कंपन्यांना पण गिराईक पाहिजे. बेस आहे 65 करोड, पण त्यांचं पर्चेसिंग पॉवर किती आहे, कमी आहे. ते कसं वाढवायचं. सो हे स्टार्टअप विल हेल्प देम अर्निंग ऑफ रुरल हाऊसहोल्ड्स, गिविंग देम विजिबिलिटी ऑफ नॅशनल अँड ग्लोबल प्लॅटफॉर्म्स थ्रू इन्क्रीज्ड मार्केट ॲक्सेस, राईट. नेक्स्ट आहेत सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स. सो हे पण सुद्धा आहेत. सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप म्हणजे काय आहे, तर self help groups represent a unique form of rural entrepreneurship where individuals within a community come together to create a collective entity. काय होतं, इंडिव्हिज्युअलची पॉवर कमी असते, बट एकीचे बळ मराठीमध्ये आपण म्हणतो म्हण. सो व्हॉट, वेन मेनी इंडिव्हिज्युअल विल कम, दे विल हॅव मोर पॉवर. ठीक आहे, त्यांची जी कलेक्टिव्ह बार्गेनिंग पॉवर आहे ती वाढू शकते. त्यांना काय होतं, बँकेमध्ये लोन जास्त मिळू शकतं, त्यांच्यामध्ये टॅलेंट पूल एकत्र खेळू शकतो. सो दीज ग्रुप्स पूल देअर रिसोर्सेस, स्किल्स. वेगवेगळ्या माणसाकडे वेगवेगळी स्किल असते. कोणी मॅनेजमेंट जास्त चांगलं करू शकतं, कोणी जास्त चांगलं बोलू शकतं, कोणाला टेक्निकल नॉलेज असू शकतं, कोणाचे जास्त कॉन्टॅक्ट असू शकतात. ठीक आहे, कोणाला बँकिंगबद्दल माहिती असेल. ठीक आहे, सगळ्या गोष्टी एकत्र येऊन आपण काय करतोय, सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप, एक इकोसिस्टम तयार करतोय. And talents to initiate the income generating activities and address the common challenges. So हे आहे सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप. नेक्स्ट काय आहे, MSME इंडस्ट्रीज आहेत. MSME, मायक्रो स्मॉल अँड मिडियम एंटरप्राइजेस. आणि अमूलचं त्यांनी एक्झाम्पल दिलं आहे. अमूल इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट सक्सेसफुल एंटरप्राइजेस बिल्ड ऑन दिस मॉडेल. सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुपच्या मॉडेलमध्ये आहे अमूल. आनंद मिल्क युनियन लिमिटेड हा फुल फॉर्म आहे, आनंद मिल्क युनियन लिमिटेड अमूलचा. सो नेक्स्ट आहे MSME. MSME म्हणजे काय आहे, तर मायक्रो स्मॉल अँड मिडियम एंटरप्राइजेस आहेत. त्याचे क्रायटेरिया आहे, कोणत्या इंडस्ट्रीला मायक्रो, मीडियम और स्मॉल इंडस्ट्री. सो देर आर क्रायटेरिया, वी आर गोइंग टू सी देम. सो स्मॉलर स्केल and localized operations catering to the specific demands of rural market and also unlocking the large markets through the economies of the scale. So MSMEs are very important. They are important from employment perspective. They give employment, right? They prevent regional imbalance. कारण MSME प्रत्येक रुरल इंडियामध्ये तुम्हाला दिसणार आहे पसरलेलं. ठीक आहे, बिग इंडस्ट्रीज आर जनरली सीन इन सम पॉकेट्स ऑफ द इंडिया, बट MSMEs आर देअर spread across all across the India. So MSMEs contribute significantly to employment generation, right? Economic development in rural areas, right? They often focus on preserving local craftsmanship, promoting indigenous products. फक्त ब्रँडेड वापरू नका, कोल्हापुरी चप्पल पण वापरा, राईट. सो तसं आहे, इंडिजिनियस प्रोडक्ट्स काही असतील तर ते प्रमोट करतायत. लोकल क्राफ्ट्समॅनशिप, तुमचं काही खेळणी तुम्ही लाकडाची करत असाल काय, तुम्ही एम्ब्रॉयडरी करताय काय, ठीक आहे, तुमचं काहीतरी कुठल्या तरी मेटलचं मेटलचं तुम्ही क्राफ्ट करताय का, ठीक आहे. सो ते प्रमोट करणार आहे. फक्त आयकियाचं फर्निचर फक्त घेऊ नका, तर लोकलचं मग घ्या. पण लोकलचं घ्यायला तुम्हाला माहिती तरी पाहिजे की या गावामध्ये असे लोक आहेत की दे आर मेकिंग सम व्हेरी गुड वूड फर्निचर, वूड आर्ट क्राफ्ट्स, ठीक आहे. सो दे आर हेल्पिंग टू what to connect customer and the craftsman. Next, and providing essential services to the community. In India, over 6.3 crore MSMEs are estimated, out of which more than 50% are in rural India. So this is the highlight of the MSMEs. 6.3 करोड आहे, त्यापैकी 50% रुरल इंडियामध्ये आहे. बिग इंडस्ट्रीज असं नाही आहे. बिग इंडस्ट्रीज सिटीमध्ये आहेत, आपल्याला सापडतील. बट हे जे आहे MSMEs, that's why government is promoting MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises. Next, again, everything is not a bed of roses. There are challenges also. What are the challenges for startups? First is what? Connectivity with suppliers in urban areas. So even though we have good digital connectivity today, but the basic physical connectivity is poor. Roads are in poor condition. Some villages, they are not connected to the main market through all weather roads. So these are the challenges. Limited infrastructure including transportation and communication networks can hinder the efficient flow of goods and services. This connectivity gap may result in delays, increased costs and logistical complexities. So this is the challenge. So just write challenges of rural system. First, connectivity with suppliers in the urban areas. Second, access to financing. So this is a biggest problem. Here they have given, in next articles they are talking about ki almost 92% of the funding given to startups, they are just concentrated in 3 cities: Mumbai, Delhi and Bangalore. So this is very harmful for the development of startups, कारण लॅक ॲक्सेस टू फायनान्सिंग नाही आहे. ऑलरेडी बँक ब्रांचेस कमी आहेत रुरल इंडियामध्ये, ठीक आहे. सो ऑफिशियल वेज ऑफ लेंडिंग कमी आहे. बँक जे आहेत ते त्यांना ट्रस्ट करत नाही आहे, बिकॉज दे डोंट हॅव द ट्रेडिशनल कोलॅटरल, बरोबर आहे. सो लोनचा प्रॉब्लेम येत आहे. गव्हर्नमेंट इज कमिंग विथ स्कीम्स, बट you should also know the challenges. First is what? Connectivity. Second is what? Access to financing. Financial institutions may be hesitant to invest in ventures located in remote areas, citing higher perceived risk and a lack of traditional collateral. The limited availability of banking services in rural region. हे सगळे प्रॉब्लेम्स आहेत. लिहा नोट्समध्ये, फक्त लिहा ॲक्सेस टू फायनान्सिंग. मग तुम्हाला अर्थ समजला आहे ना. डोंट इलॅबोरेट मच. Next, lack of support system and ecosystem in the rural India for startups. So the absence or lack of mentorship, networking opportunities and incubation centers. I hope the meaning is clear. So there is a lack of them, lack of mentorship. लोकांना माहिती नाही कसं करायचं, फायनान्स कसं करायचं. एखादा मुलगा असतो, ही इज व्हेरी टॅलेंटेड फ्रॉम द टेक्नॉलॉजी पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह, त्याला खूप गाडी रिपेअर करता येते, कॅन मेक अ कार, बट ही इज व्हेरी पुअर इन मेकिंग कनेक्शन. त्याला लोकांशी कनेक्ट करता येत नाही आहे, त्याला स्वतःचा प्रोडक्ट सांगता येत नाही आहे. सांगता येणं पण हे आहे, स्किल आहे, ठीक आहे. तुम्ही जे करताय ते इतरांना सांगणं, पोहोचवणं, त्याची पब्लिसिटी करणं, दॅट इज ऑल्सो स्किल. सो त्यामुळे काय असणार आहे, इन्क्युबेशन सेंटर्स आर व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट, मेंटरशिप इज इम्पॉर्टंट अँड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंटली फायनान्सिंग इज इम्पॉर्टंट, की ते लॅक करते. सो दीज आर द चॅलेंजेस. नेक्स्ट, difficulty in finding early adopters in rural areas. So this is also a problem. Identifying and convincing early adopters is a critical phase for any startup. कुठल्या पण स्टार्टअपमध्ये पहिली फेज तीच असते. तुमच्याकडे आयडिया आलेली आहे, एक तयार करा प्रोटोटाईप, देन गो टू द इन्व्हेस्टर्स. सो इन्व्हेस्टरनी पैसे टाकल्यानंतर मग ते थोडंसं ब्लूम होतं. सो ते लॅक करते, पहिली स्टेजच लॅक करते रुरल इंडियामध्ये, ठीक आहे. दॅट इज व्हेरी क्रुशियल. सो identifying and convincing early adopters is a crucial phase for is a critical phase for any startups in rural areas. The challenge is amplified due to limited communication channel, lower income and lower digital penetration. So lower digital penetration is a challenge overall in rural India. Lower digital penetration, lower income कमी आहे. नेक्स्ट, लिमिटेड कम्युनिकेशन चॅनल. सो असे सारे प्रॉब्लेम्स आहेत. त्यानंतर लिमिटेड फंडिंग मेकॅनिझम इन रुरल एरियाज. द डिस्पॅरिटी इज नोटिसेबल इन द कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ स्टार्टअप. सो हे मी सांगत होतो, स्टार्टअप फंडिंग प्रायमरीली विदिन अ मेजर अर्बन एरिया सच एस बेंगलुरू, दिल्ली and Mumbai collectively account for 92% of startup funding. So हे खूप जास्त महत्त्वाचं आहे. In your notes mention this and try to apply this line to your answer. In your answer जेवढं तुम्ही जास्त यूज करणार आहात तेवढं तुम्हाला जास्त मार्क्स मिळणार आहे. जस्ट फक्त लिहून नका ठेवू, त्याचं ॲप्लिकेशन पण करा इन युअर आन्सर. सो आन्सर्स लिहित राहा. नेक्स्ट, दिस जिओग्राफिकल इम्बॅलन्स लिमिट्स द ग्रोथ पोटेन्शियल ऑफ रुरल स्टार्टअप्स. अगेन खाली जसे एक्झाम्पल दिलेले आहेत, इम्पॉर्टंट स्टार्टअप सेक्टर्स इन रुरल इंडिया. सो ॲग्रीटेकमधले कुठले कुठले आहेत, फूड प्रोसेसिंगमध्ये कुठले कुठले आहेत, अगेन सगळे लिहू नका. जे तुमच्या लक्षात राहतील, जे नावं सोपं आहेत ॲटलिस्ट ते लिहा. 2 ते 3 नावं तुम्ही लिहू शकता, सो दॅट 1 ते 2 तुम्ही लिहू शकता एक्झाममध्ये. आता तुमच्या नोट्समध्ये जस्ट मेन्शन सम नेम्स. काय आहेत, ॲग्रीटेक आहेत, ॲग्रीटेक स्टार्टअप्स काय काय करता येते. सो ॲग्रीटेक स्टार्टअप्स लेवरेज टेक्नॉलॉजी फॉर प्रिसिजन फार्मिंग. सो प्रिसिजन फार्मिंग इज इम्पॉर्टंट. ऑप्टिमायझिंग रिसोर्स यूज अँड इन्क्रीजिंग द यील्ड्स. प्रॉमिनंट एक्झाम्पल, सो फसल, बिग हात, so which use AI and data analytics for providing the valuable information to the farmers. राईट, काय काय नाव आहेत, फसल आहे, बिग हात आहे. त्यानंतर SaaS बेस्ड ॲग्रीटेक स्टार्टअप्स लाईक निंजा कार्ट, दे हात अँड क्रॉपिंग कनेक्ट फार्मर्स directly with buyers, retailers, storage facilities, reducing dependence on intermediaries and ensuring fair prices. If you notice, these are also the challenges in the agriculture. We have agriculture in GS3. They keep on asking the challenges. So these are also the challenges. What are the challenges? There is dependent on intermediaries. There is lack of access to the market. Then they don't have fair prices. Next, problem of storage. They don't have a cold house. They don't have warehouses to store their crops. So to overcome these problems, startups आलेले आहे. काय नाव आहेत, निंजा क्राफ्ट, दे हात, क्रॉपिंग, फसल आहे. डेटा नाही आहे, आज पाऊस पडेल का, उद्या पाऊस पडेल का, या 2-3 महिन्यामध्ये पाऊस पडणार आहे का, गारपिटा होणार आहे का, हा डेटा त्यांच्याकडे नसतो. तो देण्याचं काम कोण करणार आहे, हे जे स्टार्टअप्स जे आहेत ॲग्रीटेक स्टार्टअप्स, दे विल डू दॅट. अदर ॲग्रीटेक स्टार्टअप्स लाईक खेती गाडी प्रोव्हाइड प्लॅटफॉर्म वन कॅन बाय, सेल, रेंट, कम्पेअर अँड रिव्ह्यू द कन्व्हेन्शनल फार्म मशिनरी. बरोबर आहे. सर नावं लिहून ठेवा, जी नावं तुमच्या लक्षात राहतील, चांगली वाटतायत ती तुम्ही लिहून ठेवा. खेती गाडी सगळंच लिहायचं नाही, सगळंच नका लिहू. नेक्स्ट, फूड प्रोसेसिंग. फूड प्रोसेसिंग काय आहे, फूड प्रोसेसिंग स्टार्टअप्स लाईक इंटेलो लॅब्स ॲड व्हॅल्यू टू रॉ ॲग्रिकल्चरल प्रोडक्ट्स. वाय? बिकॉज दे आर पेरिशेबल. Fruits are perishable, vegetables are perishable. So what these startups do? They process that food so that the shelf life can be enhanced. So creating marketable products and reducing the post-harvest losses. So this is also a problem in India. Post-harvest losses. पीक झालंय, खूप छान पीक आलंय, म्हणजे ठेवायचं कुठं, तो प्रॉब्लेम आहे. मध्येच पाऊस येतो, ते भिजतं, खराब होऊन जातं, सडतंय, कांदे सडतायत, टोमॅटो सडतायत, त्याला भाव नाही आहे. पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट लॉसेस, challenges in agriculture. ते कसं सॉल्व करताय, हे इंटेलो लॅब्स. नेक्स्ट, प्रोसेसिंग एन्हान्सेस द क्वालिटी अँड शेल्फ लाईफ ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स, इस्पेशली फॉर क्रॉप्स लाईक मिलेट्स, दस एक्सपांडिंग देअर मार्केट रिच. राईट, मिलेट्स आर इम्पॉर्टंट. सो हे काय करतायत, प्रोडक्ट्स करतायत. नेक्स्ट, स्टार्टअप्स लाईक मिलेट मॅजिक, स्लर्प फार्म, मिलेट अम्मा आर ॲक्टिव्हली वर्किंग इन दिस सेक्टर, एनकरेजिंग फार्मर्स टू शिफ्ट फ्रॉम ट्रेडिशनल सेरल्स टू मिलेट. So this is also a problem in Indian agriculture. चा काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे, इंडियन ॲग्रिकल्चर इज सेरल सेंट्रिक, ओनली wheat and rice. So that has hampered the food security, that has hampered the nutritional security, that has hampered the soil fertility. Soil degradation is happening, right? Soil salinity is happening in Punjab, Haryana region. To solve that problem, we need to change the cropping pattern from monoculture to what? Millets, पल्सेस. आणि असं कधी करणारे फार्मर, जर त्यांना पिकाला हमी मिळणार आहे, जर त्यांना मार्केट मिळणार आहे. मिलेटला मार्केट आहे अर्बन इंडियामध्ये. आता हवा चालू आहे का, की मिलेट्स खा, चांगलं असतं, ठीक आहे, हे सुरू आहे, पण त्यांना मिलेट्स कुठून घ्यायचे माहीत नाही आहे, त्याचं प्राईस जास्त आहे. सो हे स्टार्टअप विल कनेक्ट फार्मर्स अँड द अर्बन ड्वेलर्स. नेक्स्ट, ई कॉमर्स आहे. E-commerce platforms provide rural business access to a larger customer base, boosting sales and income. So Misho ऐकून असेल तुम्ही, Misho. So Misho वाल्याने काय केलेलं आहे, रुरल डेव्हलपमेंट, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रुरल डेव्हलपमेंटची दे हॅव टायड अप, आणि द सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स विच आर एंगेज्ड इन द मेकिंग प्रोडक्ट्स right, in rural India. So they have connected, they have given platform to those self-help groups to sell their products on their platform. आणि यांचे युजर कोण आहेत अर्बन इंडियामध्ये. सो मग ते कनेक्ट आहे. सो मिशो इज अ व्हेरी गुड एक्झाम्पल. ई कॉमर्स तुम्ही लिहू शकता, मेन्शन करू शकता. नेक्स्ट एडटेक अँड स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट. सो एडटेक म्हणजे काय आहे, लर्निंग डिलाइट, हिप्पो कॅम्पस, असे वेगवेगळे आहेत प्लॅटफॉर्म. त्यांनी काय केलेलं आहे, दे हॅव स्टार्टेड एज्युकेशन इन वॉट लोकल लँग्वेजेस. 65% इंडियन पीपल आर लिव्हिंग इन रुरल इंडियाज अँड दे आर टेकिंग एज्युकेशन इन व्हरायटी ऑफ लोकल लँग्वेजेस. असं नाही की फक्त इंग्लिशमध्येच, खूप साऱ्या भाषा आहेत. खूप साऱ्या भाषामध्ये लोकल लँग्वेजेसमध्ये मुलांना शिक्षण पाहिजे स्वस्त याच्यामध्ये. सो दे आर गिविंग थ्रू दिस ॲप डिजिटल प्लॅटफॉर्म्स. ठीक आहे, अल्ट्रेसिंग द रूरल अर्बन एज्युकेशन डिवाइड. बरोबर ना, रूरल अर्बन एज्युकेशन डिवाइड पण आहे मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये. नेक्स्ट हेल्थ टेक स्टार्टअप्स लाईक मेडिसेवा, ग्रामीण हेल्थ केअर, ब्लॅक फ्रॉक टेक्नॉलॉजीज, AI हेल्थ हायवेज. ठीक आहे, DigiCure आहेत. आफ्टर रिमोट कन्सल्टेशन्स, so remote consultation is happening with doctor and overcoming the lack of healthcare infrastructure in rural area. These startups provide health education and awareness programs addressing preventive healthcare. So हे सुद्धा गरजेचं आहे. Next, renewable energy. So renewable energy is very important because there is also, even now government has come forward with various schemes. ठीक आहे, electricity, but still there is a problem. Load shedding is a problem. To avoid that, we can harness solar energy, we can harness wind energy, but at now currently the cost is very high. So what to do? So these startups, they have come in picture. AgriVijay provide renewable energy products for farmers and rural households, offering range of products including solar, biogas, electric, hydro and wind energy. Startups like AgriGenium Innovations Private Limited are harnessing the agricultural waste. त्याचा बायोगॅस तयार करतील ते, बायोगॅसचं मग एनर्जी तुम्हाला मिळेल. सो ही आहे रिन्युएबल एनर्जी. नेक्स्ट हँडीक्राफ्ट्स अँड ट्रेडिशनल आर्ट्स. सो काय काय स्टार्टअप्स आहेत लाईक पितल, शिल्पकारी, थिंक गुड. गुड म्हणजे काय असणार आहे, गुड आपला गुड. थिंक गुड प्रोव्हाइड ट्रेनिंग टू रुरल आर्टिझन्स, एक्सपांडिंग देअर कस्टमर बेस अँड इन्क्रीजिंग द इन्कम. सो अशा पद्धतीने व्हेरियस स्टार्टअप्स तुम्हाला मेन्शन करायचे आहेत. सेक्टर मेन्शन करा आणि नाव. नेक्स्ट फिनटेक आहे, आय फायनान्स आहे, बँक साथी, भारत पे. सो काय असणार आहे ते फायनान्शियल इन्क्लुजन कसं करता येईल रूरल इंडियाचं, ते आर गोइंग टू हेल्प. सो हे झालं काय आहे, हाऊ स्टार्टअप्स आर हेल्पिंग द रूरल इंडिया, व्हॉट आर द चॅलेंजेस टू द स्टार्टअप्स, व्हॉट आर द गव्हर्नमेंट स्कीम, ते आपण पाहिलं. त्याच पद्धतीने अजून काही स्कीम्स आहेत का ते आपण बघूयात नेक्स्ट चॅप्टरमध्ये. नेक्स्ट चॅप्टर काय सांगतोय, रिफॉर्म, परफॉर्म अँड ट्रान्सफॉर्म. रिफॉर्म, परफॉर्म अँड ट्रान्सफॉर्म थ्रू ॲग्री स्टार्टअप्स. थ्रू ॲग्री स्टार्टअप्स याच्यामध्ये त्याने काय सांगितलं आहे, दिस आर्टिकल इज मोर फोकस्ड ऑन ओनली ऑन ॲग्रिकल्चर. previous article was just previous article dealt with the comprehensive topic, comprehensive sectors in the rural India. So this article is based mainly on agriculture. So the agricultural domain encompassing crops, livestock and fisheries has experienced the emergence of numerous startups commonly referred to as agri startups. Enablers such as incubators and accelerators. So incubators are also called as what enablers. Other name is accelerators. Accelerate करणं, एखादी नवीन स्टार्टअप असेल त्याला ॲक्सिलरेट करणं, त्याचा बिझनेस वाढवायचा असेल त्याला ॲक्सिलरेट करायचा असेल तर ते इनेबलर्स म्हणतात त्याला. प्ले अ क्रुशियल रोल ॲज की पार्टनर्स विदिन द ब्रॉडर स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम सपोर्टिंग अँड एक्सपिडिएटिंग म्हणजे काय, फास्ट करणं, एक्सपिडिएटिंग द सक्सेसफुल डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ बिझनेसेस. द युनियन बजेट 2023 demonstrated a commitment to supporting agri startups through increased allocations and targeted measures in the creation of rural infrastructure and development of agriculture and allied sector. किती काय फंड, काय एखादा फंड तयार केलेला आहे का, किती अमाऊंट दिलेली आहे गव्हर्नमेंटनी, ते आपण पाहूयात या आर्टिकलमध्ये. So agri startups. During the startup phase, novel concepts are introduced to the market, evolving into the economically sustainable enterprises. Novel, काहीतरी innovation. Startup is all about what? Innovation, ideas, use of technology to solve the problem. तोच आहे पण त्याला वेगळ्या नजरेने आपण बघायचं, ते म्हणजे आहे स्टार्टअप. सो पहिली म्हणजे स्कीम स्टार्टअप इंडिया इनिशिएटिव्ह इज टू इंटिग्रेट द इंडियन स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम विथ द ग्लोबल काउंटरपार्ट्स, employing diverse engagement models. In 2021, latest data, India experienced the development of 46 unicorns So highlight the word unicorns. What are unicorns? Prelims they can ask you. Unicorns means what? 100 crore, 1 billion. 1 billion valuation असेल, so your startup is a unicorn. So 46 युनिकॉर्न्स आहे इंडियामध्ये 2021च्या डेटानुसार. लेटेस्ट आला अपडेट करा, माहीत नसेल 2021 यू कॅन राईट इट डाऊन. 2021 46 युनिकॉर्न्स आर देअर. ठीक आहे, डिनोटिंग न्यू कंपनीज व्हॅल्यूड ॲट 1 बिलियन और मोर. Positioning India as the third largest unicorn hub globally with a total of 90 unicorns behind only USA and China. So सध्या किती आहेत म्हणजे 21 मध्ये 46 झालेले आहेत. सो सध्या टोटल आहेत 90 युनिकॉर्न्स आहेत इंडियामध्ये. स्टार्टअप्स खूप असतील बट युनिकॉर्न ज्याचे 100 करोड व्हॅल्युएशन झालेली आहे ते असे 90 युनिकॉर्न्स इंडियामध्ये आहेत. दॅट इज अ गुड थिंग. नेक्स्ट, विथ अ गोल ऑफ इन्क्रीजिंग द फार्मर्स इन्कम. ॲग्रिकल्चरमध्ये मेन काम काय आहे? नावच आहे, मिनिस्ट्रीचं चेंज केलेलं आहे. मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ॲग्रिकल्चर अँड फार्मर्स वेलफेअर. अल्टिमेट एम इज वॉट? फार्मर्स वेलफेअर. अल्टिमेट एम इज वॉट? टू एनहान्स द इन्कम ऑफ फार्मर. एनहान्स द इन्कम ऑफ फार्मर. सो फार्मर्स इन्कम वाढवायचं आहे. द गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया कन्सिस्टंटली सिक्स avenues to enhance the agricultural production. How we can enhance the agriculture, how we can enhance the farmers income? Agricultural production वाढवा, त्याची प्रोडक्टिव्हिटी वाढवा. बरोबर आहे, प्रोड्यूस जास्त असेल त्याला जास्त पैसे मिळतील. सो ॲग्रिकल्चरल एनहान्स ॲग्रिकल्चरल प्रोडक्शन. फूड प्रोसेसिंग, मार्केटिंग बाय इंटिग्रेटिंग कटिंग एज टेक्नॉलॉजीज अँड इनोव्हेशन्स. इनोव्हेशनचा वापर करून, कटिंग एज टेक्नॉलॉजीचा वापर करून बेसिकली आपल्याला काय करायचं आहे? वी नीड टू एनहान्स द प्रोडक्शन. We need to support the food processing so that ultimate aim is what? To increase the farmers income. Next, what else they have given? Potentialities of agri startups. So around 55% of the Indian population relies directly on agriculture. So this is by census. So very important fact they have given. You can write it down and see. They have given the source also, census 2011. Similarly, in your essay, if you're writing something, also try to mention the source. That will give credibility your fact. जो पेपर चेकर आहे तो म्हणणार नाही रे हा काय स्वतःच लिहिलं आहे त्यांनी. नाही आहे, आम्ही काय दिलेलं आहे? सेन्ससचं दिलेलं आहे. याचा आम्ही सेन्सस वाचलेला आहे. राईट द सोर्स ऑल्सो. सेन्सस, नीती आयोग, इकॉनॉमिक सर्वे, बजेट. राईट, सो दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट प्रॅक्टिस. Around 55% of the Indian population relies directly on agriculture. In bracket, write census 2011. Make it a habit. Next, as a critical component of the economy, agriculture continually demands attention and the need for agricultural products is anticipated to persist. A surge of budding entrepreneurs and emerging startups in the country is leading the charge in agricultural sector growth. So 18% India's GDP, it's coming from agriculture and 55% people are dependent on agriculture. So agricultural growth is very much important for the overall economic, socio-economic development of India. So these startups are very important. So they are, agricultural practices have been successfully transferred. So they are taking him. They are means what? The startups, the agri startups, they are taking diverse array of technologies including hybrid seeds. Seed is very important. If you have good seed, you will have good produce, right? Hybrid seeds, precision farming, artificial intelligence, geotagging, and satellite monitoring. So write these keywords. Write these keywords. Satellite monitoring, big data analytics, mobile apps, and farm management software that can be applied at every stage of the agricultural produce to enhance the productivity and increase farm incomes. So both are important. Production should be increased. Also, productivity also should be increased. Both are important. Production, productivity. How we can increase? By applying these technologies. Mobile apps, geotagging आहे, satellite monitoring आहे, AI आहे, data analytics आहे, right? Precision farming आहे, hybrid seeds आहे. So various things. So just write these keywords. Very important. Next, reform facilitating startups. So what are the reforms? So through various policies and interventions, the government aims to empower the startups, fostering innovation, design and the rapid expansion of the startup movement. Innovation आहे किंवा कुठली डिझाईन तुम्ही करताय एखादं प्रोडक्ट ते आहे. त्यानंतर रॅपिड एक्सपान्शन ऑफ द स्टार्टअप मुवमेंट. सो गव्हर्नमेंट्स काय आहे? गव्हर्नमेंट्स प्रोॲक्टिव्ह पॉलिसीज टू काय आहे? पहिलं आहे मेक इन इंडिया 2014 टू फॉस्टर इनोव्हेशन अँड डिझाईन, टू अट्रॅक्ट इन्व्हेस्टमेंट, टू क्रिएट एम्प्लॉयमेंट वॉज द एम ऑफ वॉट? मेक इन इंडिया. नेक्स्ट, स्टार्टअप इंडिया आलेला आहे 2016 मध्ये टू बूस्ट इनोव्हेशन. इनोव्हेशन खूप महत्त्वाचं आहे. टू बूस्ट इनोव्हेशन, फॉस्टर स्टार्टअप ग्रोथ and generate employment opportunities. So 3 M's of Startup India: boost innovation, foster startup growth, and what? Generate employment opportunities. Next, simplification funding support. ओके, हे आहेच, हे झालेलं आहे मेक इन इंडिया, बट जी सिस्टीम आहे ती सुद्धा चेंज करण्याचा गव्हर्नमेंट प्रयत्न करत आहे थ्रू ईज ऑफ डुईंग बिझनेस, जनविश्वास ॲक्ट, बँकरप्सी कायदा आणलेला आहे, त्याचप्रमाणे सिम्प्लिफिकेशन ऑफ फंडिंग सपोर्ट. सो रेड टेपिझम जे आहे ते कट केलेलं आहे, सिंगल विंडो क्लिअरन्सेस आहेत. सो सिम्प्लिफिकेशन, इन्सेंटिव्स आहेत. इफ यू आर एस्टॅब्लिशिंग युअर कंपनी इन अ लेट्स से बॅकवर्ड एरिया, सो गव्हर्नमेंट विल गिव्ह यू मोर incentive in terms of tax saving, in terms of subsidies, in terms of free water, free electricity. Government is promoting what? Regional balance, right? So incentives and promoting industry academia partnership, so this is also very important, industry academia partnership, which is missing in India. In foreign countries, if you see, Stanford University, Oxford University, various companies, they are engaged, right? ते त्यांचा काय सध्या आम्ही काय काम करतोय तसाच सिलेबस तो काय करतायत, डिझाईन करतायत युनिव्हर्सिटीसाठी. सो इंडियामध्ये दिस इज व्हेरी लॅकिंग ॲक्च्युली, इंडस्ट्री अकॅडमिया पार्टनरशिप अँड इन्क्युबेशन फॉर सस्टेनेबल इकॉनॉमिक डेव्हलपमेंट. नेक्स्ट, अटल इनोव्हेशन मिशन. सो वी ऑलरेडी टॉक्ड अबाउट इट. अटल इनोव्हेशन मिशन, इनोव्हेशन अँड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप आहे. सो देर इज वन मोर प्रोग्राम अंडर AIM, अटल इनोव्हेशन मिशन. देर आर व्हेरियस प्रोग्राम्स. अटल इनोव्हेशन मिशन इज umbrella scheme. So what is the name of the scheme? SETU, self employment and talent utilization, entrepreneurship promotion through SETU. So write down SETU, self entrepreneurship and talent utilization and innovation promotion, developing a platform for generating innovation ideas. Next, there is what? New Gen IEDC. What is IEDC? Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center. New Gen Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center is there. What is the aim? To promote knowledge-based and technology-driven startups by harnessing the young minds and their innovation potential in an academic environment. So IEDC, you can write it down. Next, there is government scheme RKY, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. So it was there, launched in the year 2007-8 something, and now same scheme after 10 years refurbished into the RKVY Raftar scheme, right? So what we are doing is established a new program named Innovation and Agri Entrepreneurship Development with the goal of promoting innovation and what? Agri entrepreneurship by giving financial support and cultivating the incubation ecosystem and finances. They both are very important for a startup, for a newly established startup. Next, what they have given? Next, they are also talking what? Recently a surge of startup is there. So the solutions, we saw the challenges. What are the solutions? Biogas plant, so that will solve the energy security problem. Solar power cold storage, so that will save your electricity and that will also save your crops from damaging. पिकं खराब होतात शेतीतले, त्यामुळे काय आहे, कोल्ड स्टोरेज फॅसिलिटी आम्ही प्रोव्हाइड करतोय. कोण? स्टार्टअप प्रोव्हाइड करतील. सोलार पॉवर्ड आहे, सो लाईटीचा खर्च वाचतो आहे. कोल्ड स्टोरेजमुळे पिकांचं नुकसान होणार नाहीये, राईट. फेन्सिंग अँड वॉटर पंपिंग सिस्टीम्स, वेदर प्रोडिक्शन टूल्स, वेदर प्रोडिक्शन इज व्हेरी मच इम्पॉर्टंट. ठीक आहे. स्प्रेइंग मशीन्स, सीड ड्रिल्स, पट जमिनीमध्ये सीड ड्रिल्स. नेक्स्ट, अँड वर्टिकल फार्मिंग मेथड्स. द इव्हॉल्विंग लँडस्केप ऑफ ॲग्रीटेक holds the potential to tackle various issues within the agricultural sector and reshape the trajectory of Indian agriculture. So हे सारे solutions आहेत, you can write it down. Rising proliferation of agri startups आहेत, ठीक आहे, तेच सांगितलेलं आहे मुद्दा त्यांनी, तोच पुन्हा एकदा. नेक्स्ट इथे दिलेल्या आहेत काही गोष्टी. कर्नाटक अँड महाराष्ट्र collectively contribute nearly 50% of all agri tech startups. कर्नाटक अँड महाराष्ट्रामध्ये they are front runners. Gujarat status as the best performing state in the Indian startup ecosystem despite holding only 7% share in agricultural startups. So काही फॅक्ट्स आहेत. नेक्स्ट, कृषी शक्ती आहे. काय आहे? कृषी काय आहे? व्हॉट इज कृषी? कृषी इज व्हॉट? अ फुल्ली ऑटोनॉमस हाय प्रिसिजन इनेबल्ड स्प्रेइंग ड्रोन. सो ड्रोन्स आणलेले आहेत स्प्रे करण्यासाठी. काय आहे नाव? कृषी. कोणी आणलेला आहे? फॉर एक्झाम्पल डेबे. सो कोणी आणलेला आहे हे लक्षात नका ठेवू. ड्रोन्स when drones, if you're writing on drones, just mention Krishakti नावाचा एक ड्रोन आहे that is mainly used for spraying of the pesticides and fertilizers, liquid fertilizers. Next, so what are the incubators? Incubators अर्थ तुम्हाला समजलेला आहे. So what are the incubators? So there is one incubator called as A idea. A idea. A idea. So A idea is an incubator. It is what technology business incubator. So that will more focus on what technology business incubator. And this incubator is designed and developed and established by whom? ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So that's a premium research organization in India, ICAR, and that has many sub branches. One of the institution is what? NAARM, National Academy for Agricultural Research Management. So in prelims they can ask you what is NARM, where it is located. National Academy for Agricultural Research and Management. It is located in Hyderabad, and that has come forward with A idea to foster innovation, to promote agri startups. हे काय करणार आहेत? Through capacity building, mentorship. So they will enhance the capacity, they will give mentorship, networking and advisory support. A idea strives to assist entrepreneurs, new term coined, agripreneurs in ideating, incubating and accelerating their unique early stage enterprises that are scalable to become competitive food and agricultural ventures. So A idea, just mention A idea by NARM, आणि या सगळ्या गोष्टी करणार आहेत. नेक्स्ट तसंच आहे ॲग्री उडान is by, again this is launched by NARM, same institution. It is India's first food and agribusiness accelerator. A idea will more focus on technology. Agri Udan will more focus on what? Food processing startups, agri and food and agribusiness startups. What they will do? Sustainable inputs, precision and smart agriculture, innovative food technology and supply chain technology. Next, same CII, Center for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship. So just write down two जे तुम्हाला सोपं वाटेल ते, सगळे लिहायची गरज नाही आहे. CII हे कोणाचं आहे? IIM अहमदाबादचं आहे. इट इनेबल्स सी अँड ॲक्टिवेट्स द स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम इन सेव्हरल इंडियन लोकेशन्स. Next we also have ICRISAT. So ICRISAT is an organization. What is the full form? International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics. ठीक आहे. सो हे यांनी पण इन्क्युबेटर्स प्रमोट केलेले आहेत. ठीक आहे. नेक्स्ट agri startups transforming supply chain and market linkages. So what are the ways? What is actually happening when I say market linkage? So what they are doing? So these are categorized into different types. Establishing the connections to output markets. Second is what? Facilitating the input supply. So input supply is very important. Then connection to the market is also important. Enabling mechanization and irrigation. Mechanization is very important. In India, mechanization is lacking, or you can say only the North Indian blade, the Punjab, Haryana, they are using more mechanized farming. Why? Because they have more money. Why? Because they have MSP for the crop. They are just taking rice and wheat, right? They have MSP, so they have good income in their hand. So more mechanization is there. Providing financial solutions such as credit and insurance. Next, aiding in quality maintenance through monitoring and traceability. Managing post-harvest processes. Offering logistic services. So हे सर्व कामं कोण करताय? ॲग्री स्टार्टअप फंक्शन्स. हे सगळे ॲग्री स्टार्टअपचे फंक्शन्स आहेत. वेगवेगळ्या प्रत्येक स्टेजमध्ये, शेतीच्या प्रत्येक स्टेजमध्ये दे आर गोइंग टू हेल्प द फार्मर्स, सपोर्टिंग द ॲक्टिव्हिटीज रिलेटेड टू ॲनिमल हजबंड्री. बिकॉज इन इंडिया वी हॅव मिक्स्ड फार्मिंग. सो ॲनिमल हजबंड्री इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. So agri startups transforming supply chain and market linkages. So what exactly they are doing at each and every stage. So this is the answer. Just have a one read. So this is all. Next, in the realm of processing and storage, innovations encompasses machine-based imaging technology for sorting based on color, size and type. Okay, ठीक आहे. Wireless sensors आहेत. त्याच गोष्टी आहेत. काय काय करू शकतात वगैरे वगैरे. एक थीम तुम्हाला समजली असेल. Basic agri processing industry. Why it is important? What are the challenges? What are the examples of incubators? What these incubators are going to do? And what are some examples of agri startups we just saw? Next, so here cabinet decisions आहेत, not important. So now first comprehensive agriculture, first article. Second article focused morely on what? More on this food processing industry, agribusiness, agriculture. Next, this is what? Redefining food processing sector through startups. ठीक आहे. सो याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी काय काय दिलेलं आहे बघा. इन द इनॉग्रल इव्हेंट ऑफ वर्ल्ड फूड इंडिया एक्सपो होता 2023 held in New Delhi on 3rd November. The Honorable Prime Minister of India referred the food processing sector as a sunrise sector. So highlight this word, sunrise sector. So PM Modi, he said it is a sunrise sector. Sunrise sector means what? It has, that industry has very good potential in future, right? And underscored the role played by the entrepreneurial abilities of startups in its phenomenal growth. Startups in the food processing ecosystem are found at various stages of the value chain and together have the potential and dynamism to complete the value chain and lead to the transformation changes in the economy. Very important, startups in the food processing. So similar theme or a article. So just we'll go through it once. So the food processing sector of an economy is the quintessential example of mutually reinforcing. Quintessential example means what? Best example आहे. Primary sector आणि सेकंडरी सेक्टरला लिंकेज करण्यासाठी. फॉरवर्ड लिंकेज, बॅकवर्ड लिंकेज. सो बॅकवर्ड लिंकेज म्हणजे काय? शेती. फॉरवर्ड म्हणजे काय? ते प्रोसेस करून कुठे जाणारे प्रोडक्ट्स. टोमॅटो केचप जर तुम्ही बनवला आहे सो दॅट विल गो टू द बेकरी और कुठेतरी कॅफेमध्ये जाईल. बॅकवर्ड लिंकेजमध्ये काय आहे? शेतीतून तुम्ही टोमॅटो परचेस करताय तर ते बॅकवर्ड लिंकेज झालं. सो त्याचं एक्झाम्पल आहे ॲग्री प्रोसेसिंग. इट ॲक्ट्स एन इफेक्टिव्ह लिंक बिटवीन द ॲग्रिकल्चर अँड इंडस्ट्रीज बट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स इन reducing the wastage of perishable. So that is also the aim, reducing the wastages of perishable agricultural produce, ensuring value addition and diversifying and commercializing the agriculture, thereby generating incremental employment and income to farmers. ठीक आहे. आणि why sunrise industry? Because urbanization is increasing in India. Of course urbanization is increasing, even if the speed is slow. The speed is not that much, but urbanization is happening. That means what? There is more demand of processed food. So rapid urbanization impact the food consumption behavior. Food consumption is आपल्याला काय क्विक फूड पाहिजे सध्या. सो फूड प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्रीला स्कोप आहे, वाव आहे भविष्यामध्ये. सो इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ फूड प्रोसेसिंग सेक्टर आपण पाहिलं, वेस्टेज कमी करण्यासाठी, फार्मरचं इन्कम वाढण्यासाठी वगैरे वगैरे. हे पेरिसेबल कमॉडिटीज त्यांनी दिलेलं आहे. आणि किती लॉस होतं म्हणजे फ्रूटमध्ये साधारण 6% लॉस आहे. फिशरीजमध्ये 4.86% लॉस होतो. का? कोल्ड स्टोरेज नसल्यामुळे, प्रॉपर वेअर हाऊसेस नसल्यामुळे, प्रॉपर लिंकेजेस नसल्यामुळं आपण जे व्हेजिटेबल्स करतोय त्यापैकी 4 ते 11%, 10% भाजीपाला असाच खराब होतोय. तो शेतातनं बाहेर पडतोय पण किचनमध्ये जात नाहीये, लोकांपर्यंत पोहोचत नाहीये, मध्येच तो खराब होऊन जातोय. सो हे लॉसेस कमी करण्यासाठी देर इज द ॲग्रो फूड प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्री कम्स इन टू द पिक्चर. आणि त्यानंतर ते म्हणतायत की द रोल ऑफ विमेन इज इमेन्स. ॲग्रो बेस्ड फूड प्रोसेसिंग सेक्टर जे आहे, फूड प्रोसेसिंग, त्याच्यामध्ये विमेनचा रोल महत्त्वाचा आहे. सो इफ यू प्रमोट द फूड प्रोसेसिंग सेक्टर दॅट विल ऑल्सो हेल्प इन द विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट, ते म्हणतायत. नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट काय आहे? येस, नेक्स्ट वर दे आर सेइंग की मीटिंग चॅलेंजेस थ्रू द फोकस्ड अटेन्शन. सो हे पण महत्त्वाचं आहे. धीस आर द कीवर्ड. What are the challenges they are saying? What are the challenges? 4 A's are the challenges. 4A. First is what? Availability, accessibility, affordability, and what? Awareness. हा प्रॉब्लेम आहे. स्टार्टअपला अवेअरनेस नाही आहे. कशा बाबतीत? FTM, फायनान्सेस, टेक्नॉलॉजी अँड मार्केट. फायनान्स, लॅक ऑफ अवेअरनेस ऑफ द फायनान्स. Affordability, technology is not affordable. Availability, market is not available. Again, accessibility to the market, accessibility to the finances, affordability to the technology. So these are the problems. So just mention, हे mention करून ठेवा. The major challenges faced by a startup are what? 4 A's. अशा गोष्टी ज्या आहेत ना, सो हे काय करा तुम्ही, एखादा तुम्ही तुमच्या एसेमध्ये जस्ट एक फ्लो चार्ट तुम्ही करू शकता. यू कॅन जस्ट राईट अ स्क्वेअर. 4 A's इथे लिहा. अफोर्डेबिलिटी एक्झामिनरला दिसलं पाहिजे. तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, तुम्ही कुरुक्षेत्र वाचलेलं आहे, तुम्ही ज्ञानदीप अकॅडमीचं यूट्यूब लेक्चर पाहिलेलं आहे. ठीक आहे. अफोर्डेबिलिटी, ॲक्सेसिबिलिटी, अवेलेबिलिटी असं लिहा. 4A. मेजर प्रॉब्लेम्स काय आहे? FTM ना. सो इथे लिहा FTM म्हणजे पुढचं लिहा काय? फायनान्स आहे, मार्केट आहे, टेक्नॉलॉजी आहे. असं थोडंसं ग्राफिक रिप्रेझेंटेशन करा, कारण ते वाचून एक्झामिनरला पेपर जो तुमचा चेक करणार त्याला बोर होईल. नुसतं असं एसे सारखं लिहिलेलं आहे. सो मध्ये अशी एखादी डायग्राम आली त्याला बरं वाटेल. ठीक आहे, त्याला असं हे करा, चौकोन करा, इथे लिहा तुम्ही काय लिहिलेलं आहे. राईट, अशा गोष्टी विल फेच यू मोर मार्क्स. रिप्रेझेंटेशन इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टंट. राईट, रिप्रेझेंटेशन इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टंट. फक्त तुमच्याकडे कंटेंट खूप जास्त छान आहे, तुम्ही खूप खराब अक्षरात लिहिलं आहे, तुम्ही अंडरलाईन केलेलं नाही आहे, तुम्ही व्यवस्थित पॅरेग्राफ केलेले नाही आहे, सो दॅट विल हॅम्पर युअर मार्क्स. राईट, सो अशा गोष्टी महत्त्वाच्या आहेत. मेक इट मोर अट्रॅक्टिव्ह. शो ऑफ करा, शो ऑफ ॲन्सरमध्ये. नेक्स्ट, मेक इन इंडिया स्कीम्स. अगेन त्या स्कीम्स आहेत दाखवलेल्या आहेत त्यांनी, फूड प्रोसेसिंग स्टार्टअप्स अँड ऑल. नेक्स्ट, प्रधानमंत्री किसान. अगेन देर आर सम स्कीम्स. You should keep at least 10 schemes in your hand. 10 schemes. GS 1, 2, 3. 10 schemes. I am going to use it. Anyhow, I am going to use them. So त्यापैकी एक स्कीम आहे प्रधानमंत्री किसान. प्रधानमंत्री किसान संपदा योजना, की जी फूड जे वेस्टेज होतं आहे त्याच्यावर काम करण्यासाठी आहे. वेअर हाऊसेस बांधा, गोडाऊन्स बांधा, त्याची स्कीम आहे. प्राईम मिनिस्टर फॉर्मलायझेशन ऑफ मायक्रो प्रोसेसिंग एंटरप्राइजेस प्रोडक्शन लिंक्ड. ठीक आहे, ही एक स्कीम आहे. नेक्स्ट, फॉर स्टार्टअप्स इन द फूड प्रोसेसिंग सेक्टर flourish. Backward linkages with the agriculture, fisheries, dairying, animal husbandry, etc. need to be strong. Next, this objective is strengthened by production linked incentive schemes, agri infra fund वगैरे वगैरे अशा गोष्टी आहेत प्रमोट करण्यासाठी. ओके, ठीक आहे, ओके आहेत या गोष्टी, एवढं फार इम्पॉर्टंट नाही आहेत. हा क्रायटेरिया महत्त्वाचा आहे फॉर बोथ फ्रॉम प्रिलिम्स अँड मेन्स पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह. धिस वन. व्हॉट इज अ मायक्रो इंडस्ट्री? सो गव्हर्नमेंट MSME industry. So what? Based on the investment and turnover. If you have a company, if you have a startup, and in your startup the investment amount is 1 crore and the turnover is around 5 crore, your entity will be classified under micro industry. If the investment is 10 crore and the turnaround is 50 crore, then your startup or your entity will be classified under small industry. Then medium industry 50 and 250. सो हे काय आहे, इंटू 10 करा आणि इंटू 5 करा. सो हे तुम्हाला मिळेल. सो लक्षात ठेवा, हे विचारू शकतात. प्रिलिम्सला पण महत्त्वाचं आहे. इन प्रिलिम्स ऑल्सो दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. 1, 5, 10, 50 अँड वॉट 50 to 50 हा क्रायटेरिया आहे. आणि ऑल अमाऊंट इज इन करोड. ऑल अमाऊंट्स आर इन करोड. सो प्रमोटिंग स्टार्टअपसाठी काय काय करत आहेत बघा गव्हर्नमेंट. एवढे सारे उद्योग करतायत. काय काय करतायत? So DPIIT. So DPIIT recognizes entities as startups. काय काय आहे? If your startup, if your entity is less than 10 years, तुमची व्हॅल्युएशन 100 करोडचे जास्त नाही आहे, तुम्ही इनोव्हेशन यूज करताय, यू आर टेकिंग हेल्प ऑफ टेक्नॉलॉजी टू सॉल्व द लोकल चॅलेंजेस, लोकल प्रॉब्लेम्स, सो युअर एंटिटी विल बी क्लासिफाईड अंडर स्टार्टअप्स. ठीक आहे, विच डिफाईन्स अ स्टार्टअप इन टर्म्स ऑफ टेन्युअर, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स अँड टर्नओव्हर. या 3 निकषावर entity has been classified under startup. So an entity is considered to be a startup up to a period of 10 years. Important. Prelims ला पण विचारू शकतात. From the date of its incorporation or registration, depending upon whether it is a private limited company or a एक पार्टनरशिप फर्म आहे. ठीक आहे, हे गोष्टी झालं. सेकंड काय आहे? द एंटिटी शुड बी वर्किंग. सो दिस इज झालं टेन्युअर झालं, 10 years. ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह काय आहे? If your objective is innovation, development or improvement of products or processes or services, or if it is a scalable business model with a high potential for employment. असं असेल, तुम्ही जर सुरू केलेलं आहे त्याला आम्ही स्टार्टअप म्हणू. कोण म्हणते असं? DPIIT. DPIIT is under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Next, it should not exceed 100 crores. 100 crore पर्यंत तुमचं असेल तर तुम्ही स्टार्टअपमध्ये आहात, तुम्ही नवीन आहात थोडक्यात. नेक्स्ट, त्यामुळे तुम्हाला मदत पाहिजे, इन्क्युबेटर्स अँड ऑल. द स्टार्टअप इनिशिएटिव्ह ऑफ द गव्हर्नमेंट हॅज बीन मल्टीप्रॉंग. इट इन्क्लूड्स 10,000 crore. 10,000 crore फंड्स ऑफ फंड, म्हणजे स्टार्टअपला फंड करण्यासाठी एक फंड काढलेला आहे. 10,000 crore आहे तो. द स्टार्टअप इंडिया ऑनलाईन हब. द स्टार्टअप इंडिया ऑनलाईन हब हा एक इनिशिएटिव्ह आहे. इट कनेक्ट्स ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स. कोण कोण आहेत ऑन सेम प्लॅटफॉर्म? स्टार्टअप्स असतील, इन्व्हेस्टर्स आहेत, फंड्स आहेत, मेंटर्स आहेत, अकॅडमिक इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स आहेत, इन्क्युबेटर्स आहेत, कॉर्पोरेशन्स आहेत, गव्हर्नमेंट बॉडीज आहेत. सो या सगळ्यांना कनेक्ट करण्यासाठी देर इज वन प्लॅटफॉर्म, स्टार्टअप इंडिया हब. स्टार्टअप इंडिया ऑनलाईन हब. राईट इट डाऊन. स्टार्टअप इंडिया ऑनलाईन हब कनेक्ट्स ऑल द एंटिटीज. स्टार्टअप, इन्व्हेस्टर्स, मेंटॉर्स, इन्क्युबेटर्स, गव्हर्नमेंट कंपनीज, अकॅडमिक्स, ठीक आहे, इंडस्ट्रीज. सो सगळ्या गोष्टींना कनेक्ट करता. दिस इज इम्पॉर्टंट ना. Then to promote startups, there is 100% deduction allowed for the profits and the gains for 3 consecutive years. Again, this is very important. For 3 years, no taxes. 100% deduction. ठीक है? No taxes. का? To promote startups. ठीक है? Next, the budget also announced the establishment of an agricultural accelerator fund. So write it down. Keyword: agricultural accelerator fund is there. Agricultural accelerator fund. कशासाठी आहे? To encourage the agri startups, especially those by young entrepreneurs in the rural areas. Next, there is what? Linking startups to global markets. So APEDA आहे. There is one more organization, APEDA, Agricultural and Processed Food Export Development Authority. APEDA. There is one more, MAPEDA is there, Marine Produce. That is MAPEDA आहे. TRIFED is there. TRIFED for promoting the products created by tribal people. TRIFED आहे. So you should know this organization. Try to mention them in your answers. APEDA, MAPEDA, TRIFED, right? So हे काय करणार आहे? 85 ला सेटअप झाले ते ठीक आहे. What they are going to aid in the registration of exporters. एक्सपोर्ट करणं, तुमचा प्रोड्यूस खूप छान आहे, एक्सपोर्ट तुम्हाला करायचं आहे, पण कसा करायचा, कुठं रजिस्टर करायचं, कोणाला भेटायचं, कोणाला विचारायचं माहीत नाही तुम्हाला. सो गो टू APEDA. That will help you. Registration of exports of scheduled products, provide financial assistance to them, fix standards. So there are some standards na. European countries, they have some standards ki you should have certain pesticides banned. त्यांनी बॅन केलेले आहेत, हे वापरायचं नाहीये, वापरलं असेल तर आम्ही घेणार नाही. ठीक आहे. तुमच्या प्रोडक्टमध्ये काही खराब काही किडे वगैरे झाले आहेत का, अळ्या वगैरे आहेत का, ते सगळं चेक करून काय आहे स्टँडर्ड्स अँड स्पेसिफिकेशन्स फॉर द शेड्यूल्ड प्रोडक्ट्स, कॅरी आउट इन्स्पेक्शन, इम्प्रूव्ह पॅकेजिंग and marketing of scheduled products. So APEDA is going to help you. Agri food processing startups. So एवढ्या साऱ्या गोष्टी आहेत गव्हर्नमेंट करत आहे. ठीक आहे. हे तेच आहे गोष्ट. प्रधानमंत्री FME म्हणजे काय? प्राईम मिनिस्टर फॉर्मलायझेशन ऑफ मायक्रो फूड प्रोसेसिंग एंटरप्राइजेस स्कीम. फूड प्रोसेसिंग मोठमोठे भरपूर आहेत. किसान, हिंदुस्तान युनिलिव्हर, ते काय करतात? फूड प्रोसेस. पण त्यांना हेल्प करणं गरजेचं आहे का? नाही आहे. त्यांना पण असतील स्कीम, बट सर्वात जास्त मायक्रो फूड आहे. मायक्रो फूड प्रोसेसिंग एकदम लोकल लेवलला तुम्ही फूड प्रोसेस करत असेल त्यांच्यासाठी काय आहे स्कीम? PMFME. सो दिस स्कीम इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. इफ देर इज एट ऑल अ क्वेश्चन ऑन ॲग्री फूड प्रोसेसिंग, यू शुड मेन्शन दिस स्कीम PMFME. ठीक आहे. सो या झाल्या गोष्टी. सो वी जस्ट टॉक्ड अबाउट, वी फिनिश द 3 आर्टिकल्स. First on comprehensive agriculture, next 2 articles were more focused on what? Agri food processing sector. So next article is about startups towards rural water security. So what this article talks about? So here again, the next challenge in rural India is what? Sustaining the rural water security is the key to a nation's journey. We know in India 17.5% of world's population lives. 17.5% of world's population lives in India, but India is having just 4% of water resources. So already there is water stress. First fact. Second fact, due to the urbanization and due to the industrialization, also due to the agriculture, what? The water quality is reducing. Water pollution is happening. That means what? The limited water what we have, that is also getting polluted, right? So there is what? Water stress. And wash sector is also important. Wash sector means what? Water, sanitation and hygiene. So this is also mentioned in the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. It is mentioned water, sustainable water, what? Sanitation and hygiene. Over exploitation of groundwater, it is a problem. Indian agriculture in general, it is not water efficient. We use more water. We are using flood irrigation. The sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation is not much in use, right? So water efficiency of Indian agriculture is less. So more water is needed for agriculture, and due to the rapid urbanization and industrialization, there is water stress. So same thing is mentioned over here. So to tackle this, government has come forward with Swachh Bharat Mission. Again, that is rural also, Gramin also. So what is the aim? So Swachh Bharat Mission, Gramin and the Jal Jeevan Mission. So there is one more scheme launched in the year 2019, Har Ghar Nal Se Jal, tap water supply, has been instrumental in improving the living standards of the rural population by ensuring sanitation and hygiene and providing access to safe water. Next, what they are saying, at the same time, rapid urbanization and the growth of industries induce stress on water resources. As the resource becomes scarce, the economically weaker rural section is the first sufferer, because in urban areas you can afford water, direct बिसलेरीचे कॅन आपण घेऊ शकतो, but it is not true with the farmers. So there is a concern. So in lines with the sustainable development goals I just mentioned, SDGs, goal for water, sanitation and hygiene ecosystem is to ensure access to clean water and safe sanitation facilities for every person. So that is our sustainable development goal. So we need to achieve that. So elements of rural water security काय आहेत? Startups are successful in developing the meters at an economically rate using low cost sensors. What is happening? Over exploitation is happening. Farmers, they have more often they have subsidized electricity. So what they do, they over exploit the groundwater, right? They unnecessarily give more water to the crops. That is a cause for soil degradation. That is a cause for lowering the water table of groundwater, right? So काय आहे? So the startups, they are coming forward with a new innovation to meter what? Developing a meter for calculating the water uses. They are also what? Coming forward with the installation of a water saving devices. Then inventions. They are inventing novel devices and test kits for water quality testing and affordable treatment mechanism. So that is also a problem. I told you in the very beginning, the groundwater is having heavy metals in it, and that is hazardous for the health. So startups are developing water quality check meters so that farmers or the rural dwellers, they can check their water quality, right? And many diseases can be prevented. Next, there is the ever-growing concern of over-exploitation. Just we saw it, excessive water consumption associated with the subsidized or free supply of electricity is also posing a threat to water security in rural areas. Next, so finally, improved water governance is important, and water governance is essential to streamlining the integrated approach of resource allocation and management. Next, Startup India challenge is there. Intelligent public toilets. So wash sector, water, sanitation and hygiene. So all things are important and all things are interrelated. All things are connected with water. Sanitation is connected with water. So startups are coming with what? IP toilets. IP means what? Intellectual property? No. Here it is what? Intelligent public toilets, IP toilets with self-cleaning facilities. Toilets which will use less amount of water, which are odorless, right? Which will use less amount of water so that we can save our water for other uses. Floor hygiene concept and an IoT, Internet of Things enabled control board for monitoring users. So IP toilets, write down in your notes, IP toilets. Next, created an anaerobic granulated sludge of more than 650 numbers. So how to process that waste? The waste ahe, that can be used in a biogas plant. So these startups are working. Next, in between this article, these 2 pages are there, and slight divergence. So these 2 pages talks about the achievements of government. They talk about the major decisions of government, major cabinet decisions which will which will help the empowerment of what? Middle class, empowerment of women. So just we will have some glance over them and then we will continue that article. So what are the women empowerment measures? 33% representation for women in Lok Sabha. Already in our constitution we have given 33% reservation to women, but in Panchayat Raj institutions, in urban local bodies, that was not in Lok Sabha. So 33% representation in Lok Sabha and not in Rajya Sabha, not in Vidhan Parishad. This reservation is what? Lok Sabha only. Next, access to clean tap water with what? 13 crore connection, Jal Jeevan Mission. So wash sector in wash sector, water, sanitation and hygiene. These achievements are important. What? First you can write 13 crore plus tap connection. So what? Jal Jeevan Mission launched in the year 2019. Then there is hygiene and dignity for women with 11 crore plus toilets, toilet construction. 11 crore plus toilet construction under what? Swachh Bharat mission. Then 100% smokeless kitchen with 10 crore LPG connection under what? Ujjwala Yojana. So you should be in handy with this scheme. तुम्हाला back of the mind माहित पाहिजे. So try to apply these schemes. Maximum amount तुमच्या answers मध्ये दिसल्या पाहिजेत. उज्ज्वला योजना. सो इन्क्लुसिव्ह डेव्हलपमेंट असेल, विमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट असेल, पोल्युशनच्या रिलेटेड असेल, इंडोर पोल्युशन असेल. सो यू शुड यूज उज्ज्वला योजना 10 करोड प्लस LPG, स्वच्छ भारत 11 करोड प्लस टॉयलेट्स, जलजीवन मिशन 13 करोड प्लस टॅप वॉटर सप्लाय. सो या सगळ्यामुळे काय झालेलं आहे, महिलांचं आयुष्य सुखकर झालेलं आहे. इस्पेशली ग्रामीण महिलांचं आयुष्य सुखकर झालेलं आहे. सो दिस स्कीम्स यू शुड नो. नेक्स्ट काय आहे, ईज ऑफ लिव्हिंग फॉर पुअर अँड मिडल क्लास. सो फॉर पुअर अँड मिडल क्लास व्हॉट आर द इम्पॉर्टंट स्कीम्स. 100% villages in India are electrified. सौभाग्य योजना is related to the electricity. Ujjwala Yojana is related to the LPG. Next, free treatment of up to 5 lakh for poor under the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri. So PMJ, PMJ, Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. 5 lakh insurance cover is there. ठीक है, 28 करोड आयुष्मान बेनिफिशरीज आर देयर. पक्का हाऊस फॉर ओव्हर 4 करोड अंडर व्हॉट? PM आवास योजना. घरं बांधून मिळतील. 4 करोड ऑलरेडी बांधलेली आहेत, पक्का घर. नेक्स्ट, फ्री रेशन फॉर ओव्हर 80 करोड पुअर अंडर PM गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना. सो फूड सिक्युरिटी इज देयर. अन्न वस्त्र निवारा, गिविंग फूड, फ्री फूड फॉर द 80 करोड पीपल अंडर व्हॉट? प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना. देन प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना, पक्का घर आहे. त्यानंतर LPG आहे, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आहे, टॅप वॉटर आहे, टॉयलेट आहे. सो जस्ट इमॅजिन अ हाऊस अँड द बेनिफिट्स यू आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम द गव्हर्नमेंट schemes and just try to mention the names. So that will be beneficial for writing in your answers. Then modernized agriculture and prosperity for farmers. So what are the schemes related to farmers? So there are schemes like what? Improved soil productivity with 23 crore soil health cards. Soil health cards are important. Soil erosion, soil degradation are challenges in the Indian agriculture. If you don't have fertile soil, your productivity will be less, your production will be less, farmers will be having less income, less disposable income. So to enhance that soil health card, which fertilizer? They will check your soil. They will tell you your soil is deficient in which nutrients. They will tell you which fertilizers at which amount that is needed for your crop, which crops are suited for your soil. So this will be what? This information will be shared to the farmers by these soil health cards. And 23 crore, more than 23 crore soil health cards has been issued. Next, state of the art agricultural hubs located at 1.6 lakh PM Kisan Samriddhi Kendra. So PM Kisan Samriddhi Kendras are there. Low premium rates on crop insurance cover to farmers under the PM Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So untimely rainfall, hailstorm, heat wave, cold wave, so your crop will be damaged, farmers crop will be damaged. To prevent that, there is insurance scheme, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. The premiums are very low. Next, PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, 6,000 DBT direct benefit transfer to 11 crore farmers. 6,000 rupees will be transferred. PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Again, there are some states like Maharashtra which have added 6,000 plus to their from the state government. So in Maharashtra, farmers are getting 12,000, 6,000 from center, 6,000 from the state, right? So PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Next, so this is what to welfare of farmers. Then growth opportunities for youth. So what are the schemes? Can do spirit of youth makes history at the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. Then over 43 crores collateral free loans. Adan Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. So Mudra Yojana is again important. Mudra Yojana is what? For giving finance to the micro industries. Then India among the top 3 startup ecosystem in the world. So we know this fact. 15 AIIMs, 7 IITs, 7 IIMs, and 260 medical colleges established for world-class education. So don't remember these figures, but we have IIM, IIT, then AIMs for what? For what? Quality education to the our young youths. Next, so we will continue. So we were talking about the wash sector, the role of startups, what they are doing, IP toilets, intelligent public toilets, which will save water, which will use a less amount of water, e-waste exchange to enable people, to dispose of their electronic waste while complying with the government regulations. So this also happening. E-waste is a problem in urban areas. So there are many startups which will collect your e-waste, which will repair. If that product is repairable, they will repair and they will give that product to the some poor people, okay, PPL people. Next, if that is not repairable, so they will dispose scientifically. E-waste. Next, odorless, waterless and chemical free urinal system that provides a unique airlock system that does not allow urine to come into contact with air or oxygen. Then there is organic hydrogel, there is there made from biodegradable waste, which could retain moisture, nourish the soil and even boost crop growth naturally. Again, government is coming with some challenges to what? To foster innovation. So grand water saving challenges. Then there is what? Efficient flush system in public toilets to ensure optimum uses of water while ensuring a clean and hygienic toilet. Right. So these are the initiative by the government under wash sector. Then there are some startups like Boon, so formerly known as what? Swaja. So what they do? This water tech startup is striving to make water accessible and affordable. Ensuring a reliable supply of safe drinking water, potable water, safe drinking water. Their proprietary water ATMs. So Boon is related to water ATM. Just write these two words: water ATMs. Boon, water ATMs. What is the use? Affordable and accessible drinking water, because in urban areas we are very privileged. आपल्याला कळत पण नाही किती जे आपण पाणी पितोय की आपण किती प्रिव्हिलेज आहोत. कारण W हेल्थ ऑर्गनायझेशन हॅज सेड की इन इंडिया सर्वात जास्त आजार कशामुळे पसरत असतील तर ते आर वॉटर बॉर्न डिसीजेस. लोकांना प्यायला पाणी नाहीये स्वच्छ, खूप मोठा प्रॉब्लेम आहे. आपल्याला मिळते, आपल्याला त्याची किंमत नसते, ठीक आहे. बट वी शुड बी थँकफुल, ठीक आहे, की वी आर गेटिंग क्लीन सेफ ड्रिंकिंग वॉटर. बट फॉर रुरल पीपल दिस इज अ ड्रीम. सो त्यासाठी बून आहे वॉटर ATM, अफोर्डेबल, ॲक्सेसिबल, safe drinking water they will give, and that water ATM is also powered by what? Solar energy. So that will also save energy. So water purification and vending is done by what? Solar energy. So just mention Boon water ATMs. Next startup is what? Vasar Labs. So what they are doing, their solutions provide real-time data and insights from satellites, sensors and models to bring end-to-end visibility to all water assets in a given geography. So they will connect all the water resources की सध्या कुठे विहिरी आहेत, कुठे बोर आहे, कुठे जास्त पाणी आहे, कुठे कमी पाणी आहे, कुठल्या पाण्याची क्वालिटी चांगली आहे. सो वासर लॅब्स. Then there is one more app, Kheti. So Kheti is a startup working to address water scarcity issues for small farmers. According to the founders, the plants in the greenhouse require 90% less water than those outdoors and yields are 7 times higher. So they are basically greenhouse in a box. So greenhouse सारखं तयार करणार आहेत. So they will just grow the crops which require less amount of water. Fine. Next, according to the founders, the plants in the greenhouse require 90% less water than those outdoors and yields are less. Next, there is Water Lab India or Bhujal app. Bhujal app, what it does? The Bhujal app, the first of its kind Android app, made the process simpler by making it possible to measure the water level within a minute. Because to measure a water level is a very big task. If there is a malfunctioning in your motor, so to take out that motor from the borewell is a big task. It's what? Expensive task for that farmer. So this app, what it will, by making it possible to measure the water level within a minute without even opening the borewell, because that is expensive, that is time consuming. Next, which is that app? Bhujal app. So we talked about Boon app, Kheti, Vasar Labs, and this is what? Bhujal app. Next, the app supports Marathi and Kannada, so they are also using what local languages, because the farmers, they are what not well versed, they are not well versed with the English language. So these apps, they are also using the local languages, so that the poor farmers, they can also use the app, right? So this was the chapter related to agro startups, which are dealing in the wash sector, water, sanitation and hygiene. Next article is about startups as the engine of growth for Northeast India. So Northeast India, if you see India as a whole country, so you can identify that Northeast India is like one of the backward areas in India. Why it is backward? Because Northeast India, if you see the geographical area, Northeast India is having almost 10% of India's geographical area, but it has only 4% of India's population. So 4% of India's population lives in 10% geographical area. Then the terrain is harsh, it is covered with hills, forests, right? So the developmental activities are less, but again, with the help of technology, various startups are coming from Northeast India to develop the region, and government is also helping the startups for the development, right? We also have a ministry, we will talk about it. So startups will play an important role in helping India become the third largest economy in the world, and the last decade has seen an exceptional transformation in the startup landscape in India, which has emerged as the third largest ecosystem. So we know this, third largest with over 1.12 lakh startups presently recognized by the department DPIIT across 763 districts. A total of 49% of the startups are from the tier 1 and the tier 2 cities. Along with the rest of India, the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Northeast India has also evolved through with its own startup policies, and the ecosystem is evolving. The article highlights the types of startups in the region. कोणकोणत्या प्रकारचे आहेत, the issues and challenges faced, and the way ahead for providing the structured support to the startups in this region, right? So Northeast region, what are the challenges we will see first. So so India's huge population, which was once perceived as an albatross, has emerged as its biggest strength, right? But the demographic dividends will accrue only in the overwhelmingly. So demographic dividend is very essential, but what is more essential? To educate, to give skill to that youth, to give skill to that demographic dividend, right? So overwhelmingly young population providing rich human capital is empowered and cultivated properly. India needs entrepreneurs for two reasons. For first, to solve what, to capitalize on new opportunities, and the second is what, new opportunities, and second is to create wealth and new jobs. We need new jobs. Unemployment is very high in India, so we need jobs. The startup can solve that problem, and what, to capitalize on new opportunities. So there are challenges. To solve the challenges, we need the startups. So in the next 10 years, 130 million Indian citizens will be searching for jobs, and this will include what, 80 to 100 million. So this article is highlighting the need for what, employment opportunities for the rising youth. So among them, more than 110 are unicorns. So again, it is interesting to note that 49% of the startups are from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So from startups, we know third largest ecosystem. 92% of the funding is from Bengaluru, Delhi, Mumbai. So this is a problem. Next, they are saying almost 50% of the registered startups, they are from tier 2, tier 3 cities. So this is good for the economy because decentralization is happening. Next, internet penetration. Okay. Historically, there was a perception that small towns were difficult places to conduct business, but with improved internet penetration, vastly better physical infrastructure. There are some problems, but we have highways, we have railways, right? Infrastructure, road, rail and air connectivity, and supportive government policies. This is no longer true. That means what? We can do business in the hinterlands nowadays. Internet penetration is good, We have various scheme, BharatNet, Digital India, right? Next, we also have what? One of least internet or data charges in the world. That is also cheap. Today, innovation in India is not just limited to certain sectors, as startups are solving problems in 56 industrial sectors, with 13% of them in IT services, 9% from health, life sciences, 7% from education, and 5% from food and beverage. So, what is important from this type? The startup ecosystem is diverse. There are more than 56 industrial sectors where startups are working successfully. Next, with increased digital penetration and new government initiative backed by a lower cost of living, a lot of innovative ideas have come up from youngsters from the hinterlands of India. Hinterlands means what? Rural India, in cities like Surat, Jodhpur, Ranchi, Bhopal. These are our tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Next, startups in Northeast are found primarily in the following sectors. So they are working. So which are these varied sectors? So agriculture and allied. So we talked about it. There are handlooms and textiles, tourism industry, IT and ITES enabled services, retail and logistics, health and wellness is there, edutech is there, waste management, media and entertainment. So all these sectors where startups are growing and they are working successfully. So it is evident that most startups face two major concerns. Two major concerns. In the previous article we saw 4A and FMT, finance, technology and market. Over here they are giving two challenges. First challenge is what? Access to funding. Access to funding, and second is what? Mentorship support. So mentorship support, funding, what is needed? Incubator is needed for startup. So what they are saying, the startup ecosystem should be viewed as a continuum that supports and incentivize all stages of the life cycle of a startup. So this include intermediate support. What kind of support startups need? First is what? Innovation and commercialization in higher education and in small businesses. First, second is what? Aspiring entrepreneurs via pre-incubation, preparatory phase. Third is what? Idea and early stage startups, so that more of them can survive and go to the market. So these are various stages. Again, all stages are not important. Don't go much into the technicalities. A total of 80% of the startups are Me Too startups, which poses some major challenge in terms of scalability. Me Too म्हणजे मला मी स्टार्टअप केलं आहे, दुसरा कुठला असेल तर तो म्हणजे हो मला सुद्धा हा त्रास झाला होता, मला सुद्धा स्केलेबिलिटी करता आली नाही, मला सुद्धा इनिशियल आय लॅक इनिशियल फंडिंग, आय लॅक इनिशियल मेंटरशिप, आय लॅक इनिशियल ॲक्सेस टू मार्केट. सो मी टू सिंड्रोम आहे. नेक्स्ट, थ्रू स्टार्टअप्स प्ले though startups play an important role in generating employment, it is seen that from the startups in the region, employment generation is still restricted. Potential is huge, but reality today the employment opportunity is less. Why? It is also observed that highly innovative startup ideas using technology in designs and processes are very few, and patents filed by startups from the region are also limited. Which region? Northeast region we are talking about. Next. So these are the challenges: access to funds, access to new markets, lack of skilled manpower, continued mentorship program, and access to professional support. These are the challenges. So what is needed? What is needed? So build a wide pipeline of innovative, entrepreneurially skilled young people. Second, evolve outcome-oriented, sustainable incubation models. Then build leaders of incubators, expert mentors we need. So these are the ways to help the startup at the very early stage. Since most of the startup founders are from technology backgrounds, they have very little understanding. So we talked about it. They are from technology background, but they may lack from the marketing perspective, from the finance perspective, from the management perspective. So we need a team to develop startup ecosystem. Okay, so that's all for the Northeast region. Again, all articles are talking about startups, so the data is getting what? Repeated. So next is what? Drone revolution changing the face of rural India. So how drones can change the face of rural India? So drones are what? Cost effective unmanned aerial vehicle. That means drone. Unmanned aerial vehicles hold promises to address various challenges and issues prevalent in Indian agriculture, and thus the Indian government has initiated several schemes to promote what? Drone revolution. Very important. So what are the prospects for the drones, the uses of drones? First, they have the potential. What? Drones have the potential to prey a pivotal role in the modernizing farming practices and creating unprecedented job opportunities, especially for youth and women, something considered nearly impossible just a few years ago. So drone is a part of what? Mechanization of agriculture. So what are the uses? Promoting a drone culture nationwide. So drones are what? Cost effective. And first, so in Japan, what they are doing, the scientists have even developed insect-sized drone. Insect. So in Japan, advanced nation is there. So pollination. So apiculture is promoted for the pollination of flowers, pollination of crops. So in Japan, scientists have even developed insect-sized drones capable of pollinating flowers, maybe mimicking the role of bees. Next, China and Indonesia are taking steps to boost the demand for drones in agriculture. So various countries are doing R&D in drone revolution. So what is the bright outlook in the USA? A staggering 84% of farmers utilize drones on a daily or in a weekly basis. So that is huge. So that's why the productivity is more in USA. Less and less number of people are engaged in agriculture in the USA, but in India 55% of India's population is directly or indirectly dependent on agriculture. So to reduce that, what we need mechanization, and mechanization through drones is also a good prospect for the agriculture. As of June 2023, there are 333 drone startups in India. Okay, this figure not that important. 333 startups, you can write it down. Next, schemes for women self-help groups. Again, production linked PLI scheme is there. The PLI scheme, production linked incentive scheme for drones and drone components, offers incentives to manufacturers in this domain to manufacture drones. So incentives will be given by government. Then scheme for women self-help groups. So providing drones to women self-help groups engaged in agriculture. So self-help groups, many women will be there. So one drone will be assigned, and that one drone will be used by the various women in various ways for various purposes. The drones are intended to assist with what? Crop monitoring. You can monitor the crop. Then yield estimation, what yield can be done. Then and various other agricultural activities. By empowering women in agriculture, this scheme aims to enhance the drone industry's growth and create employment opportunities for youth and women in agricultural sector. So this is helping both manufacturing, by manufacturing drones, and in service industry by giving job to the women and the youth. Next, ban on drone imports. So to promote Atmanirbharta in this sector, the Indian government has imposed a ban on the import of drones and drone components. Then there is one scheme, Drone Shakti scheme for startups. So the scheme aims to foster innovation, growth and employment opportunities within the drone sector. Next, drone rules are there, 2021. To regulate the drone industry in India, the government has introduced the drone rules 2021. We also have what? Digital Sky platform, which serves as an online registration platform. Online we need to register na drone असंच आपण उडू शकत नाही. So sky policy है, drone sky policy. Next, there is certification scheme. The government of India has introduced a certification scheme for agricultural drones. Then there is drones in the agricultural research. International Crops Research, ICRISAT, permission to utilize the drones for the agricultural research. Then there is SMAM. What is SMAM? Submission on agricultural mechanization. So mechanization is needed. So what is the scheme? Submission on agricultural mechanization. So for its demonstration on the farmers field under the scheme, farmers are provided with the benefit of subsidies. Benefits of subsidies ranging from 50 to 80% for buying the drone. So subsidies are given for each level, to manufacturing industries to manufacture the drones, then to farmers, to self-help groups. So various schemes are there. So just write down the names of the schemes. Next, the advent of Kisan drones. What? Kisan drones as part of the Indian government initiative to spark a rural drone revolution. What? Kisan drone. Next, these drones are aimed at helping farmers in various aspects of farming, from crop health analysis. So crop monitoring can be done, okay, yield estimation can be done, to pesticide spraying, okay, from crop health analysis to pesticide spray. Pesticides पण ते spray करू शकतात. Next, the conventional method of spraying pesticides and liquid fertilizers, which involves use of handheld, मागे असतात ते spray करतायत, but that is hazardous for their own nervous system, own respiratory system. So to avoid that, we can use drones, we can use mechanization in the agriculture. Next is what? The use of Kisan drones is being promoted for crop assessment, digitization of land records, and spraying of insecticides and nutrients. So that will boost the rural economy, that will have the assured income for the farmers, and that will enhance their bargaining power. Next, increased crop yields. Utilizing drones to collect data on crop health facilitates farmers in identifying areas requiring attention. Next, there is cost reduction. So drones contribute to cost savings by pinpointing areas needing attention. Then there is job creation. So these are the ancillary benefits of the uses of drones. So just have a read once. So precision agriculture. So this has been significantly reshaped by the integration of drones into the field and soil assessment practices. We need precision agriculture. Why? Because water efficiency of Indian agriculture is less. We are using excessive use of fertilizers. We are using excessively. The proportion NPK 4:2:1. So that is not being followed by the farmers. So we need precision farming, right? And for that, drones are very useful. Next, planting and crop sowing can be done. So this modern approach not only significantly reduces the planting costs, but often up to 85% of the compared to traditional methods. So लावण्यासाठी जेवढा खर्च येतोय, but also minimizes the physical strain linked to on the ground planting. Next what they have given, precision spraying, spray करण्यासाठी. So in the realm of precision crop spraying, drones have emerged as technological catalysts, revolutionizing the targeted and efficient application of agricultural inputs. Then crop monitoring can be happen, irrigation management equipped with the thermal sensing cameras. Agricultural drones provide insights into soil moisture conditions, guiding precise water application. Otherwise, what is happening? Farmers are using excessive water. So what is happening? Over exploitation of groundwater. Groundwater, they are having heavy metals. So soil salinity problem is there. Soil salinity. So to avoid that, drones can be used. They can be equipped with thermal sensors, so they will know what is the current moisture level of soil. So whether giving water is needed or not. So that will be just by this drone. Then crop health assessment. So crop health assessment in terms for the insurance claim, this assessment can be done by the crops. Right. Next, at last, the last article from this Kurukshetra January magazine is what? Supporting women-led startups. So women empowerment is very important, right? And it's also a main topic from our syllabus, right? Women empowerment. So flagship schemes such as Stand Up India. Startup India is there. Startup India is for fostering innovation, to promote startup. But we also have what? Stand Up India scheme. Stand Up India scheme is to promote women empowerment. So what Stand Up India scheme says? Stand Up India and PM Mudra Yojana. So they have helped women-led startups access funds at minimal cost with a vision to promote the sustainable development of women entrepreneurs for balanced growth in the country. So balanced growth is there, they are talking about. So what is the scheme all about? Even as the aim is to build a stronger ecosystem for nurturing India's startup culture that will further drive our economic growth, support entrepreneurship and enable large-scale employment. Okay. Next, in 2022, the number of startups led by the female founders touched 80,000, up from the 6,000. So this is a 1,000% growth. So this fact you can write. This fact is very important. What? In 2022, the number of startups led by female. So that increased more than 1,000%. So this fact you can write. Right. So various schemes are there to promote this. So Startup India has been committed to strengthening women entrepreneurship in India through initiative schemes. So here in Stand Up India, what is the main criteria? Every bank branch should give a loan to SC or ST, one SC or ST and one women beneficiary. Right. So that has helped then to promote flow of both equity and debt to women-led startups. So there are funds, again various schemes are there. Just have a read. I just highlighted for you. Next, so access to funds, the biggest challenge. So access to fund was the biggest challenge. So that was solved by this Stand Up India. Then Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is there. Women-owned MSME face challenges in accessing credit due to a lack of collateral, tangible assets, limited avenues to prove creditworthiness, and perceptional biases. Perceptional biases are there against women. So to provide to what to overcome these limited exposure to market spaces and there. So various schemes have been launched, unpaid care work and safety and security issues to manage the businesses and achieve the required growth for the enterprises. So these are the challenges faced by the women-led startups. So here you can see to 2017 to 2022, 100 more than 1000% increase in the women-led startups in spite of all these challenges. These are the challenges faced by the women-led startups. And what are the schemes? So Mudra Yojana for women or Mahila Udyami Yojana. Mudra Yojana, so Mahila Udyami Yojana. So eligible to get loans up to 10 lakh without any collateral. So these are the schemes for promotion of this. So 70% of the loans have been sanctioned to women enterprises. So under what Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, of which over 70% of the loans have been sanctioned. So already the fruits are coming out. 70%, more than 70% loans sanctioned under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, they are sanctioned to what? Women entrepreneurs. So this is again very important. The age limit for women who can avail loans under the Mudra scheme is 65 years and the minimum age is what? 18 years. So government is helping to promote this. Next is what? The objective of the SUI, Small Industry SIDBI. So there is one again organization SIDBI, you should know. So they are giving what? Scheme is to facilitate the bank loans between 10 lakh to 1 crore to at least one scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. So just we talked about Mudra Yojana. Next, special schemes for rural and disadvantaged women, skill upgradation and Mahila Fire Yojana is there. Next, we also have what? Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program launched in the year 2008. So this scheme is there. The Mahila Samriddhi Yojana, the National Scheduled Caste Finance and Development Corporation. So this is one more corporation that is helping the Mahila, what you can say, women entrepreneurs, right? Next, so investing in what? Sheer brilliance. So share of venture capital funding women-led startups. So that has also been increased, right? Next, for beneficiaries belonging to the special categories such as scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, minorities, Northeast region, higher subsidies given, right? So these facts you should remember. How government is promoting women enterprises development scheme is there. So Ministry of Development of the Northeast, so donor ministry is there, and what women enterprises schemes are there. So both are helping. Next, at last, what we have? Mentoring of women enterprises. So women entrepreneurship platform is there by Niti Aayog. So SIDBI is promoting, this Niti Aayog is promoting, right? Women transforming India. This is what awards given. There are some awards also. So what is the way forward? Decoding government support to women entrepreneurs in India on the Niti Aayog website. Women's economic contribution in India accounts for the 17% of the GDP, and we should enhance that, right? Again, there are schemes for the women from the backward region. We have what? Nai Roshni scheme for leadership development of the minority women. What? Nai Roshni. So that's all for this article. So let us conclude this Kurukshetra January magazine. So this Kurukshetra January magazine, it all focused on the role of startups. We saw the definition of startups. We saw the achievements of startups in India. Then how startup industry can be utilized to solve the rural challenges. How startup industry can be utilized to solve the problems from the agriculture. How women empowerment can be done. How Northeast region can be prospered with the help of startups. And what are the prospects? What are the challenges in the startup industry, what we saw. So I hope this session was helpful for you, and you got to know how to read Kurukshetra, how to utilize, how to identify the important, and you got the concept clear regarding startup and all the keywords we talked about: inclusive development, sustainable development, women empowerment, rural prosperity, right? So I hope this session was helpful. So keep watching Dnyanadeep Academy. Thank you. Have a nice day.